welcome back, everyone, to the greatest podcast on earth. Chat, this is it. A day we have all feared, expected, and dreaded ever coming. All of us, each and every single one.
What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing great on this momentous occasion, this fine Sunday evening, the end of Jujutsu Kaisen as we know it.
Our namesake, man. The series that got us, here in these seats talking to you now. And it's done. It's over. That if there was a new Honored Ones, up and coming podcast, that's it. They have to start over or just give it up. Hang up the microphones.
Yeah, of course.
That's how it
honestly,
works.
yeah. We're raising the prices on pod mics. I'm not gonna lie. Just generally speaking.
Yep.
Do not let people get the mics like we got the mics.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like we got in at a dip and it's over now.
But yeah, what's up? Well, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Man, this is gonna be an interesting stream because obviously we usually focus on JJK. This will be the last time we can do that with the chapter as the focus.
A new chapter, bro.
Oh man! But the thing is, obviously we have Sakamoto Days. Obviously we have Kagurabachi. No blue luck this week, unfortunately.
You meant also this week? I thought you meant life-wise. No,
no blue luck this week. Right. And unfortunately, I'm with a saddened heart. I'm here to say no Naruto discussion this week either.
Yeah. Sorry.
I know.
Chad.
Gasp.
Yeah.
I know. But it's okay. Listen, you know what I mean? Life just lifed a little bit. All right. It kind of came in. It threw a little bit of hands. Knocked some jaws. Made us a little dizzy. It happens, right? No Naruto this week, but we'll make sure next week is a very fun Naruto discussion. I honestly feel like with JJK's final chapter, we're gonna have enough to talk about. We're gonna have enough to talk about. I promise.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
listen.
I don't doubt
JJK
in its completion.
Yeah, listen, chat. If any of you are wondering, all five of you, whoever is, right? Talking seriously about the future of this podcast for a brief second. You're talking like if you guys are After Dark members, you'll know we can just yap. We can just turn on these microphones and get to talking, flapping our gums everywhere. You go to the last episode, bro, like unplanned, unscripted. We locked in,
Just straight bull. Like nothing of note, nothing of seriousness, nothing of gravity.
Yep.
We somehow talked about absolutely nothing.
Yeah, listen,
for 4 hours. Y'all are gonna be okay. I promise.
And also, this assumes that the podcast never evolves, which I promise you. I promise you. We are making that a priority. It is
on
just
M3D's life. We're evolving.
Type shit, bro. Yeah. Like, listen, it is. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because there's a new beginning.
Philosopher creams.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Give him a round of applause for that. Give him a round of applause for that. But yeah, chat. Let's lock it in. All right. There's a couple of super chats, a lot of super chats actually. Yeah. So let's read these out. Let's address them, and then we'll get into it. So Africa, thank you for the 2. Ronan, OMG, this Kagurabachi chapter was gas, and gas it was, Don't you worry, a Kagura Bible sermon will be coming soon. Don't even worry about it. Ron Wheatley following it up with another Kagurabachi related super chat. Thank you for the 5. 1 pull for the cigarette. Yeah, this man built different. Also, Feliz Cumpleaños creams.
Appreciate
that
it.
means happy birthday for you.
Yes, sir.
Just had to translate that real quick.
The big 25 quarter century.
Hey, hold on. The anime ginger gifted 20 members.
Whoa. Damn.
Thank you for the 20 gifted. Appreciate you.
My God, dude.
Appreciate you. OG came out and he said, "You know what? Let me put on. Let me put on for the pod. Let me put on for the pod. Sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. Y'all with those memberships.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, appreciate you. Demon Akatsuki back-to-back, and I see Akari in them. Oh, I gotta read these. Demon Akatsuki, Thing for the 5. I love Akari's forced smile on the cover, showing him torn apart by his ontological incompetence. A sorcerer second only to Ogami's grandson, a fraud. Following it up with another 5. The best part of Akari versus Arame is when he changed Kashimo's turn up the music to rev up those fryers, because I sure am hungry for one. Yeah. Yeah, back-to-back Hikari hate. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that. Props to you, W, standing on business. You're here week in, week out, just slandering the man, and I gotta respect it.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see.
Just TC YouTube thing for the 2. Just put the series on the shelf, man. That's God, man. Calling a very successful mangaka this unemployed is fucking hilarious. I feel like you could only do that with JJK. Like, you don't see people making jokes like that about Kubo. Like, just put my series on the shelf, man.
Bro.
Fuck. My God, this has got to count as cyberbullying, and we're a part of it. For Gege, yeah. NJ Hurt, thank you for being a member for 9 months. Social media discourse on the ending has been so bad, like it's genuinely disappointed. I can't understand it. I can't understanding it. Jesus, I cannot read. I can't understand it not being people's ideal ending, but be for real. You know what's funny? I saw like backlash to this discourse, like to this final chapter, for like 5 minutes, and then it's seemingly it's just a bunch of thank you Geges and like heart emojis and blah blah blahs. The only thing that bugged me about discourse was the thanking the leakers thing. That shit pissed me off, man. Rubbed me the wrong way. Like, all right, man. We're just thanking the robbers now. Like we're just doing that. Like, okay.
Of course, bro. Of course, because the leakers provided content for us when Gege wouldn't. Right, guys?
Oh my God, bro. Dude, they're at best money launderers for content.
Yep.
So no, fuck the leakers, bro.
Well, yeah, each and every one. Yeah. Let's see. M3D. Thank you for the 5. Oh, nice. An opportunity to time someone out. Appreciate you. Now that Megumi's bum ass is left in the dust, the one thing I disagree with VR is gone. How the fuck do I continue hating? What's the point anymore? Let me give you a point. Let me give you a purpose. Let's see. Let me give you 5 minutes of purpose. There you go.
Oh my God. NJ, thank you for the 2. Also very happy Leak Day crashed and burned. Yeah, that did put a smile on my face. That made my extremely rough week that much better. Appreciate that. Demon Akatsuki, thank you for the 5. You cannot comprehend Yuta. You can freely copy curse techniques, but my lunch league can freely copy electrolytes and all natural ingredients. Kingston Harvey, what the fuck?
You cannot comprehend Yuta. You can freely copy curse techniques, but my lunch league
can freely copy electrolytes and all natural ingredients.
Oh shit, dude.
Bro, God. Did you watch that clip I sent you?
Yes, bro. and I understand the source of your inspiration now, gang. Fuck.
I should be there with bells on.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, bro. W fucking bit.
W bit indeed. But bro, yeah, let's see.
I ran it back because I wanted to listen to some of the material again. I was so mad that my mic was so low over there. I didn't know because I couldn't hear it. I'm hoping it's better here, but like I was like, fuck, no. So
yeah, Mazonic commented on your mic today. He said it sounds crispier than usual. So
nice.
It is audible.
Okay, wow, that's 2 crispies today. Love to see it.
Yep, 2 crispies. No creams. Let's see. Yokai Gotha, thank you for the 2. Creams and beer are about to honor Gojo more than the cast. Yeah, that's insane. Leon, thank you for the 20. JJK is beyond scoring for me. It never reaches full potential, but it's been my favorite modern shonen title since I jumped on it in Shibuya. I love the characters, the power system, and tuning into you guys. Thank you.
Love to see it, man.
Just go ahead and add a hashtag thank you honored ones before you thank Gege, of course.
Of course,
fucking hell. Since we're just doing anything now.
Like Gege would be on the side of the road asking for spare change without us. So he kind of owes us for putting him on.
we definitely put him on the map, bro. We put him on the map. Just doing charity and whatever. But for real though, appreciate you, glad you enjoyed not only the series, but us talking about it week to week. Thank you.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Joe Castrol, thank you for being a member for 12 months. Happy 1 year anniversary, man. Praying that leak culture dies with the end of JJK and doesn't spread to newer series. Excited to see what y'all have for the future of the podcast, too. Well, okay. Appreciate it on the podcast front. Hopefully, we can meet your expectations. Knock wood. As for, like, the future of leak series, of, like, the culture of leaking, I've been thinking about it, right? There's a couple of different playthroughs we can go down. Number one, we say it as a joke, but, like, bro, Kagurabachi anime or Sakamoto anime drops, they blow up in a similar way JJK season 1 did. We're cooked. Just to keep it so fucking for real, we're cooked. Right? It is genuinely like, W for those series, blowing up. Just as a fan, it's going to be a more miserable thing to participate in. So whether it's Kagurabachi, whether it's One Piece, whether it's whatever, right? Whatever series it goes to, it's a tragedy. The second one is just they all go away into the fucking moonlight or whatever the phrase is, and we never hear from them again. That's my preferred ending, but don't always get what I want in that respect, so I'm not holding my breath. The third one is there is no third one. I think that's just those two. Do you have a third one?
The community kind of pulls like what a Kagurabachi did earlier and is like a fuck leaker stance pretty publicly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will hold out a modicum of hope for that. I'm also personally just taking more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Scorched earth approach with leakers.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow in a leaker, engaging with it, I'm just blocking and moving on, bro. Like, I personally am going to keep preaching the good word to Kagurabachi, and I can't do that with Satan whispering in my ear. So everybody involved, it's not even nothing personal, although it probably is. It's just a block and move on, like, full stop, whatever, right? I'm not even engaging as far as like not me.
Yeah, man, I am so sick of leak culture, man. Having one of my favorite series just be spoiled for me on a Wednesday through some like deep fried scans from like a fax machine in Japan is not the way I wanted to experience the manga. It's certainly not the way I wanted to find out that my favorite character died, and I will carry that memory for the rest of my life. Not one, but I have been soured on leakers more and more ever since. Bro, like seeing the Gojo panel, seeing the fucking Gojo God, bro, just on Twitter in like 144p, I had to delude myself into thinking it was fake just to like not crash out that night.
God, bro, just your goat cut in half.
Yeah. It's like, okay, and what you felt when you saw the Megana thing for the first time, times 1,000. Because my guy was dead, fully gone.
Times 1,000. Yeah, I know what you are, gang.
Just heartbroken.
I think just imagining what happened would suffice. But yeah,
you don't know pain with my pain.
I'm familiar with the feeling. Fucking hell. And let's see. Nexus, think of the two. Will Cream finally read Kagurabachi? You need it.
Okay. Yeah, I probably will. I finally have some time now that big life events have finally concluded. Knock on fucking wood, chat. Holy shit. That was a bold claim. That was a dude, I just stood on that. Let me take a step down, man. Whoa.
Bro said, yeah, nothing eventful will happen to me. It's time to just kick back and relax. Like that's a little crazy. A little wild, a little sane.
Fucking Disney Channel ass setup. Fuck, man.
Guys, now we're safe. Yeah, no.
Looks like we made a clean break.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
No. So, yeah. Finally gonna binge the fuck out of Naruto this week. Catch up on that front. And also I'm going to I might just like catch up with Kagurabachi. Is it a good time, do you think, or should I wait until like this current stretch is over?
Do whatever, gang. I don't know. we seem to be pretty early in this arc. So if you're not gonna read it until the end of the arc, you're gonna be waiting like maybe like a couple of months.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Also, I just clocked that somebody said you sound very 25 today, Creams. I don't know what you guys want me to say to that.
You sound very 25. Yeah, you're 25th century. Congratulations. Congratulations.
You know me, man. People joking about Sukuna flipping the bird for the last page sent me for a while. Man, there's gonna be a lot to talk about for this chapter and this series, honestly.
Yeah. But first, let's talk about some Sakamoto Days, man.
Yes, sir.
Shin, buddy. Yes, sir.
Look at you locking in.
This is what I wanted to see from you, gang. This is what I wanted to see from you, gang. That's some... Yeah, we like that. Yeah. we like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie, Shin. I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of you.
Oh my god, man! I'm so happy.
Yeah. I told him to get his weight up, right? And it seems he was in there, bro. Because Sakamoto Days sort of like scaling, if you want to call that, is so funny because it's like, dude, Shin, this motherfucker was just kicking your ass before, and now you're handcuffed to some like random shipping container, bobbing and weaving at point blank range. You're funny. You're a funny guy, man. You're a funny guy. Like, bro, you're a genuinely funny individual, bro.
It's like, what was it? He didn't even sleep on it. He just locked in.
He did not. He didn't train. He didn't come to a new conclusion. He was just like, yeah. What if I just
the same like 10-minute stretch? Like, oh
yeah. What if I just wasn't getting my shit kicked in?
Like, oh damn shit! I didn't know you were like this from the beginning. You could have fooled me. You actually did fool me.
You did fool me, bro. And I thought you were gonna have to go on a major training arc because it is very crazy.
Because now I'm mad. I'm like, bro, were you just giving that for free? Like what? So just so I can see what you can do. Like, who are you?
Yeah, bro. This is the like near order level guy, by the way. I just want to point that out for Shin haters.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm like, I said it last week, but if I see order members being like, we train too, so the scaling is actually exactly the same, Shin. No, seems like you wasted your time. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I can't see that, bro.
Because I can't see Shin getting like Raditzed like off rip this next arc, bro. Like, I can't see like a knee to the sternum, and he's just gone. Like, sorry, Mr. Sakamoto.
Nah, yeah. Take back the Heisuke slander last week. He said "fuck the cold." Did he? did he say "fuck the cold"?
I mean, it just seemed like.
Did he throw him a fish?
Yeah, like let's relax, bro. Like Shin.
First of all,
we have enough to celebrate. We have enough to celebrate.
Right? No one was slandering Heisuke. It was just observing. I don't know why he's so susceptible to the cold. It's fine. It's not the end of the world, right? But he threw him a fish.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's calm down.
Is that?
But also,
is that really saying fuck the cold? Like, bro, he threw him a fish.
Yeah. Also, you know what? Like, Not to be that guy, but we never even saw that he was like really bad with cold before. It was just a weird time. Like, he seemed, it never came up. He just kind of seemed out of nowhere. Like, all right.
Like I'm not hating on Heisuke, but if I could admit when Shin is getting his shit pushed in, Heisuke fans could admit this nigga's not doing anything right now.
Yeah, like the fish throw is all you got. And
it's like that's cool.
Right,
that's like we in Shin Nation, we appreciate it because the fish was a nice little weapon to use, right? But the next thing we see is him like shivering and being like, Shin, hang in there, I'll save. Like, okay, bro, all right, I guess, right? But yeah, that lock in, yes sir, yeah, I need that. Had a, once again, near order level member character begging for his life. I just want you to keep that in mind. He hasn't even gone to the second level of the prison yet. Keep it in mind. I'm
so excited, man.
Yes, sir.
Also,
this was good.
Bro, the little 3 cockroaches died thing was just really funny. Because I was like, it's not that I took the prophecies for real. Like, I don't think we really talked about it last week. But I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cute. The next prophecy, I don't think will be a gag.
What
so
the Knight in Training Armor one or what?
Yeah, no, I mean, if it could even be a new one that we haven't seen yet.
Okay,
is what I mean, right? It just like if she's like, oh yeah, specifically Shin and Hisuke and Sakamoto are all going to like lose their loved ones or some shit like that. Like if it's really specific, I don't think it's going to be a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think Sakamoto's daughter is like her doll is going to break or something crazy.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shin cooked. He did his thing. I'm happy for him, bro. I really, really am. Using his environment type shit, using his abilities to his advantage, like a proper GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. You love to see it. Also, y'all gotta stop interpreting this as Heisuke slander. I don't give a fuck to slander Heisuke. I'm just saying.
Like Heisuke's cool.
Stolen valor. Like, listen, stolen valor is just crazy, right? Like, and coming at us like, oh my god, he truly said fuck the cake. Like, I'm not saying he sucks. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Everybody's got a weakness. His just happens to be, below 0. That's all that happens.
Yeah. I actually love Heisuke. I just wanted I want him to earn this shit, bro. Like I want to see him lock in.
And he will, bro. He will. Yeah. It's just also, he hasn't yet.
Actually, you know what, bro? Let me stand on that a little bit more. I just want to see what locking in even looks like for Heisuke in this context. Because the fish
harder.
Yeah, right? Because the fish was the closest one. I was like, oh, he's just gonna hand them shit? Is that the move? Is that the meta? Like, is that what's being set up? Because like Shin got through his shit really fast. So unless Hisuke is like, bro, this second floor is like easy street compared to upstairs. Like even a simple slingshot would have made me the warden of this place. Like it has to be something insane like that. Like he couldn't get his hands on like that thing David had from the Bible.
Oh yeah,
the sling,
the God sling 3000. Yeah,
bro, he couldn't have like that and a rock and be like, all right, bro, this is my prison. Like
this is my domain. Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I want to see what Hisuke locking in A looks like. B, like how well that'll carry. Because if I just take that sling, right, is he just back to this level? Like is that just base Hisuke now?
Yeah, maybe.
Base Hisuke, bro. I love using base and shit because like saying that shit for characters in anime or whatever that don't have transformations is the funniest thing. You saw the base Zoro thing.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Zoro's got a transformation, bro. Aseret's actually like an amp to stats, bro.
No, you don't understand, bro. When he puts on the headband, that's a new form.
Oh fuck.
Oh, bro. Bro, he fought Bandana Zoro to a standstill.
Bandana Zoro. Fuck, dude.
It's like imagine they were like, bro, you were able to fight creams, but what about shiesty creams?
Okay, dude. Base Kaba, Solos GT, W scale. Fucking hell.
Bro, who did this to you? Base Kaba. Fuck.
Yes, sir.
This shit kills me, man.
Yeah, W Sakamoto Days shot. I give it like a 7.5. It was solid.
Good stuff. Good show.
All right, go drink you some tea or whatever. It's time.
Sorry, I just want to read this quick one. DC, thank you for the 2. I can hear the barely existing hair on Creams' face. All right, man. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that you stood on that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let me get my Kagura Bible.
Get your little Bible. I'll be right back.
It's time, chat. You already know what it is. Open it up to chapter 51. All right. Chapter 51. It's a Samura sermon. All right. This chapter serves to it basically serves to really lock us into the character, bro. Like what Aruha's introduction chapter was for him, I feel like chapter 51 was for Samura in the sense that the first chapter I was kind of basically saying, he's a cool guy. He seems pretty sick. He seems pretty funny, but I'm gonna need a little bit more. Hokuzono, I trust that you can give me that more, but I'm gonna need some more sauce. I just need a little bit more elegance, a little bit more seasoning on it. And this is the seasoning. This is the elegance. This chapter right here, it was very, very cool. First of all, blinding himself. You could kind of get that indication from the scars on his face, but it could have very well been like somebody else. It didn't necessarily have to be Samura blinding himself. So seeing that he's doing that, it was something that he did as like a form of not necessarily meditation, but maybe like almost repenting in a way, swearing off of his like worldly desires. Pretty sick. Because it also means that this is some shit like fighting while blind. It was something it's something he learned how to do, right? It's something he figured out. And he previously was locked into the, whole seeing thing. Which I'm not gonna lie, it makes you wonder just how crazy it was if he had his sense of smell, his sense of hearing and vision all working in tandem. Samura with an enchanted blade had to have been a real monster. Regardless, very cool character. I like how he interacts with Shiba. And god damn, bro, when he pops out, he pops the fuck out. Oh my god. In front of Buddha. Lights the cigarette. One pull. Flicks that shit in the face. Slices the cigarette and the person into force. That shit was nasty, chat. That shit was absolutely fucking disgusting. And that bottom panel where he's like Samura attack sounds. Ooh. I need that. By the way, I saw someone on Twitter say that like it's interesting how Samura like tries to hold himself back from his vices, but when he does indulge, he goes like he takes it all the way, like over exaggerated. I wonder if that's going to be something that's relatively relevant for his character moving forward. It could just be a very cool, badass one pull of the cigarette thing. I wouldn't be mad at that. But if Hokozuna decides to go with an interesting, like overindulgent angle there, I'd be very, very excited. I'd be very, very happy about that. That shit was sick too. I don't know if I've ever seen a swordsman use echolocation based on the resheathing of the sword, bro. That shit was cold. Because usually you could just go like you could go the Daredevil route of, oh, my hearing is so good, like based on your footsteps or your heartbeat or your sweat or whatever, right? I can smell you and hear you and create sort of like my own little version of sight. But doing it based off of Iaijutsu and just unsheath, resheath, unsheath, resheath. That shit's cold, man. That's cold as hell. That echolocation shit is nasty. Like that's something you'll see in a lot of battle shonen. Like obviously blind swordsmen, blind fighters, blah blah blah. But the actual like resheathing nature of it, that seems new. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that shit's sick. Because it obviously it helps with the quick draw. That's part of like the form of sword fighting that he specializes in. Quick, like drawing the blade as fast as he does is part of it. But giving it a secondary effect and purpose of also allowing him to see the world. Yeah, I need that. Yeah, that shit's sick. And then that spread. Oh, that was disgusting, bro. And that. We chat that set like that penultimate page. Guess I'm going to hell too. Yo, Samura. That's a nasty wombo combo, man. That is a nasty wombo combo. Samura's cool as fuck, bro. Samura's cool as fuck. Like. These are, by the way, when they I forget the name of the thing that they use to get these amps, but these are supposed to be like faux enchanted blade level characters, or maybe like just below it. Like we see Hirohiko brings out a bunch of people like this specifically to attack Jiro with intent, right? Samura then fights two of these guys on his own just with regular swordsmanship. Yeah, he's nasty. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, he's insane. That shit's... Ooh. Oh, yeah. And then we ended off with Seiichi Samura, contracted owner of the Enchanted Blade, Tobi Mune. Yeah, no, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Ooh, Samura. You've moved me. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was very exciting. This was a thrilling chapter, especially once we got into the Samura portion of it, man. And then also getting to see that really clean slice that he gave for Chihiro. That was also sick. Geometrically perfect. Amazing. I'm not gonna lie. And teaching Uruha, yeah. Uruha being like, yeah, bro, listen, I'm good. I'm not him. I'm not at his level. Yeah, no, that's hard. No, that's hard. Semper with an enchanted blade, maybe peak of the verse. It definitely depends on the enchanted blade, but fuck, is he crazy? I'd be very curious to see like what the speed comparison is looking like between him, someone like Sojo when he's riding the lightning, or like Chihiro when he's using Nishiki, because he's like badly blitzing these guys. They're not even really able to react all that much. I'm not gonna lie. That shit is he's moving different. He's moving different, bro. Very impressive. Very good chapter. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. This is amazing. Hokuzono really did his thing. Hokuzono really did his thing with this introduction chapter. I gotta be honest. Let's see here. Achilleon, thank you for the 20. Kagurabachi is the most competent cast I've seen in Shonen. Nobody holds the idiot ball. Chihiro's creativity with his powers. Hishaku giving the heroes no downtime. Kaminawi's coordination in the face of surprise attack. It's peak. Yeah, the very, very high level all around are like kind of the characters that we're focusing on. And that's actually a very interesting point. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a very interesting point to bring up here. But I actually I do generally agree. This was very, very cool. This is very, very cool. I'm not going to lie. It makes me wonder, like, damn, dude. It makes me wonder, with people like this roaming around, Kunishige still thought, yeah, I'm going to need super powered blades in order to deal with whatever we're facing. Holy shit, bro. That war, whenever we get lore on what exactly was happening, I know that shit's going to be insane. I know it's going to be crazy. Let's see. I really want to see what Hirohiko can do with the blood origami. I'm excited to see Hirohiko and Chihiro fight as well. I'm very, very excited. John about to show up. I have that feeling in my bones. God, bro. That would be... Nah, don't do that to Samura on the intro, man. That's crazy. Yeah, Seitei War flashback arc is going to be putting up numbers. Oh, I need that bad. I need that really badly. But yeah, John, otherwise known as Yura, if you're boring, pulling up would be crazy. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to lie to you. Okay. But yeah, 9 out of 10 chapter. Very, very good. Hokuzono, pouring honey on you, go. Oh, some Akari hate. Ron Weasley, think with a 5. Shin more deadly with frozen fish than Akari with jackpot. W slander. Angel of Axis. Let's see. Thank you for the 5. I hope JJK2 happens so that I can get more views on the fanfic. Also, rip the manga. Never read it. It's too not peak for me. Oh, fair enough. The Anime Gym to think of the 50. Really focused this last chapter. JJK got me back into the manga as a mid-30s anime manga fan. I think it's a truly great story, even with the criticisms. Kagurabachi sermons and Naruto reread will have to occupy my weekends now. BR, when will we get the One Piece read-through? I have no idea, bro. One Piece read-through, not sure. But,
I'm back.
What up? But the Naruto... The Naruto, Kagurabachi, Blue Log, there's gonna be stuff to discuss for sure. But yeah, thank you for the 50 anime jumper. I'm reading super chats.
Okay. I thought, damn, you went through the chapter fast. All right.
Yeah. Caesar Valius, thank you for the 14. Glad I could finally catch a stream live for the end of JJK. Happy to see my goat Yuta made it through and that Akari left his mark as the honored bum. God, dude, I love that we've created a culture of Akari hating. Fuck, that means so much to me. I read Achilleons. And then Jaden 3011, think of the 5. Not going to be here too long, but Fraito disappearing into the void. Splendid work, Gege. Looking forward to the future of this podcast. Appreciate you. I'm going to let the Mahito comments slide just because I'm feeling gracious today.
You read Achilleons, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to respond to 2 super chats from this little cluster. Hold on.
Okay.
I hope JJK Part 2 happens. To get more views on the fic, and also rip the manga. It's not too big for me. So, okay, where do you stand with JJK Part 2 stuff after this?
I didn't see it continuing in Jujutsu Kaisen Part 2 at the end of the page, or at the end of the chapter.
Yeah, it was just like some loose mention to like Gege's future work, whatever. That's just like an empty platitude, right? I'm more I'm more fascinated by like that. Have you seen people be like saddened or mad that there was no part 2 in the same way that like people were reacting to the ending initially?
No, personally, no. I haven't seen too much. No,
me either. And I was so fascinated by that. I was like, I genuinely thought people would be more upset about the last chapter, sorry, about the part 2 thing being unconfirmed.
Yeah.
But I guess it's nice to see that that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I don't know. I think
want
people
backlash, but it was just fascinating because I was like, whoa, I thought y'all were gonna stand on this a lot harder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the people that were already vehemently against whatever Gege was doing with the ending, kind of, or like already said their spiel, said their piece. The people that were going to be for whatever Gege was going to put out are kind of, are going to be for whatever Gege puts out. And then you kind of have like the people that are on the fence, and on the fence doesn't create as much discussion. It's like very, very impassioned, inflamed hate or love, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're all for it, yeah, you're going to be louder. If you're all against it, yeah, you're going to be louder. But I think a lot of the people that are left really discussing it, especially since things aren't really happening in like massive twists or whatever. Mm-hmm. Those people are going to end up being kind of middlingly quiet in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, that's fair. It almost made me sad just because it felt like a very somber, like not on a bang but on a whimper kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I was almost, I think I felt empathy, or like, sorry, I think I felt sympathy for the first time. Where I was like, oh,
sympathy for the first time.
Not in my life.
Someone clip that, Jack. Go ahead, send that to me. I'm gonna need that one.
Not ever. Not in my life. Just like for JJK theory discourse. I was like, oh, I feel bad for you. Like, I know how much this would have meant to you. Because, like, the merger, fine. I see an explanation. It's not... You just gotta hold that, right? Hand narrow flashback, same thing, right? Certain things I'm like, okay, we don't need him. It's not like he promised them and he just, said, psych, at the last second. But for this one, it seemed like there were just enough breadcrumbs or maybe just enough hope to, like, for something to happen. Or at least like
elite flip-flopping, by the way, I have to say.
Hold on, bro. I told you. First time feeling this thing that I'm, so this is a new one for me, right?
Okay.
This is called character development. You should be applauding me.
I'm just saying, bro, not 1 week ago you were saying, oh my God, bro, don't get your hopes up. Maybe this motherfucker is just ass. Like, it's just, like I said, you can call it character development. I'll say flip-flop. Like, I'm just saying, bro, a week ago you were saying, oh my God, bro, there's nothing that even implies this. Maybe Gege just sucks. And I'm like,
hey, bro, like, two things can be true at once. Just saying, like,
okay, like,
like, it doesn't, JJK Part 2 cannot exist because, like, he was ass. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then I'm like, okay, it's more so that like where are the breadcrumbs that you're seeing that you didn't see a week ago?
I think I was like slightly convinced by the theories. I'm impressionable too.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, like, it's not.
Listen, bro, I didn't call you the devil. I'm just saying it's like it is a wildly opposing stance to the one you had last week. Right, without very much new information from my perspective. But please continue. You're allowed to change your mind. I'm just saying this is a 180, right? We're going in an entirely different direction. You were going south, you decided to go north.
I'm just fucking hell. That chat really. What the fuck, man? Okay, let me move on. Dude, I'm not saying I flip-flopped or I ever started believing necessarily, full-throated, full-throttle bib on, gay, yummy, yum, ready to eat, fork and knife in either hand. Just, where's the meal, mom? Ass fucking pose, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never got like that locked in, right? What it was just enough plausible deniability to be like, okay, there is a shot he just drops like a JJK Part 2, JJK Shippuden, Jujutsu Kaisen, whatever, this time on Jump Plus, something like that.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's all I thought.
Okay. Like I don't like I'm not persecuting you for the belief itself. Fuck, I'm not persecuting you in the first place. I'm just saying, bro, like imagine me, someone who said, yeah, I could see a JJK part 2 happening. Some of the things that are happening in a way that to me makes a part 2 necessary. And then I turn around and I say, oh my God, dude, if you thought part 2 was going to happen, ha, dumbass. Like it would be noticeable, right? Because it's like, well, hold on.
But if you, but wait a minute. Okay. Put yourself in my shoes, right? You're well hung as hell, right? And you see supporting evidence.
the shoes are a size 2 women's. Yeah. Okay.
Fuck.
I'm 3 feet shorter. Okay. You know, like I've suddenly had this deep hatred for like people of a different race. Okay, continue. I said, women, huh? Like, that's interesting. Why are we
like okay? Right. Okay. It's like dragging across the floor, right? That's super important for this metaphor, right? You're just like, it's like a horse on a hot day. Anyway, so imagine you have that burden going for you just day in, day out, right? You're just, God really, let that one spill over when he was making you, it's your cross to bear.
Bro, you're sounding like someone that owns a Lamborghini, bro. Like, please, please, bro, hurry up. Like a monster truck, gang. Like you have a truck that is like 30 feet tall, bro. The rims are spinning, like, bro. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. But please, please, bro. You're sounding cooked.
I didn't think you'd play along, so like I fucked up my rhythm. Fuck. Because I was just gonna fucking blend into the next thing too fast for anyone to notice. So
nah, bro. That's it, bro.
Okay. So you got that going for you, right? And then at the same time, you see your, fellow JJK fans, locked in, ready to go, eager beavers, and Gege kind of not leaves them hung out to dry, but he didn't even know that they were there ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though it wasn't a 0% chance. I never thought it was, by the way. I'm just saying, like, I personally didn't. I was skeptical. I told you I was agnostic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got swayed more and more as time went on. And by the end of it, I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe there might be something here, ? Especially when I saw this last chapter's, like, the scans.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I can see this, like, at least a light novel, something. So the fact that there wasn't, it was kind of sad is too strong. That thing where you feel sad, like, philosophically, like on principle for somebody else.
Empathy?
No, not that one. Like the one where you pity? That one.
Sure, man. Okay.
Like, yeah, I feel pity.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't understand your hesitation. I don't know what was unclear.
No, any hesitation is not because of a lack of clarity. Okay, you pity these people. Yeah, cool, sick, right? Like, W. What now?
I mean, I don't know. Take it up with Gege. Kill him. Like, well, I said my piece. I felt the emotion. What the fuck you guys want from me?
Okay, fair, right? Fair enough.
I clearly got my own problems to deal with, right? Because of the first thing, right? So like what am I supposed to do here?
I mean, fair enough, bro. Why are we talking like JJK Part 2 won't happen? I mean, I will, and I hope this doesn't get misconstrued as me like really hoping or aiming for this, but AOT got an extra chapter or two, like well after its release, without any prompting. Like it just got one.
Like okay, like for example, I was telling Liv, right? Even if the announcement, because Liv's theory was like the announcement was just the 2 volumes are coming out on Christmas Day. Even if you don't want,
Nothing. Continue.
I actually didn't hear you.
No, I know. Just you're good.
Okay.
Let's
anyway,
see.
So if that's, even if that is the announcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that doesn't eliminate possibilities of seeing any more like JJK stuff. Like, for example, the light novels didn't have a lot of fanfare, even when they dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the light novels as a concept moving forward are going to be out of the realm of possibility. If he's like a real Kubo meat writer, excuse me, then if you like JJK fear your own planet, or whatever the fuck you would call it, is it's not there's not a non-zero chance of that happening, and I'd be down to read a JJK light novel. Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough, bro. I'm happy that you've discovered sympathy and empathy, bro, and pity, I guess.
Yeah. Despite my affliction, yeah.
Yeah. I guess so.
Sorry, bro. I can't like. I'm reading that back in my head. That sounded awful. Like, I need you to understand, right? I'm gonna break the fourth wall a little bit. Okay. When I say you threw off my rhythm, I mean you threw it off. Like, I forgot everything I set up. Like, when I tell you, like, it was supposed to be, I say that thing, then the second thing, then we just move on. I had planned like the lines and everything in my head, right? You played along right out the window. Like, I was like, fuck, what was that line?
Okay, bro.
Like, that shit killed me. Like, fuck, bro. Like, if that sounded nonsensical to you, chat, you have to understand, right? This guy went into my brain and just like took an eraser and just I had to like fucking vamp on the fly.
And chat, all I did, by the way, the thing he's whining, you wasted my train of thought. I played into the joke he started. That's my crime. Fuck, dude. I didn't throw a curveball. I didn't stonewall him. I played into the joke he started, Chad. That is my sin. Dude, honestly,
no, it's not even a sin, bro. That's L planning on my part. I should have like had that as a contingency, right? Like, bro, fuck. I was like, no, he's definitely not in a million years. I'd stake M3D's life on it.
Yeah, bro, me too.
Fuck. My God, bro. For like, I mean, W friendship, right? But like at the same time, fuck. Fuck.
Yeah. No problem. I think. Needless to say, right? I was gonna lie and say I get what you mean. I mean, I understand of like the desire for people. Like, I know Liv definitely wanted a JJK part 2. If only, not even because she was unsatisfied with where JJK was going, but because JJK part 2 meant more JJK. So from that perspective, I have like, sympathy for fans expecting it. And I get it. People are human; they have their expectations, whatever. I'm not really gonna shit on them for wanting something more out of Gege, especially when I myself have asked for more from Gege than he was willing to,
Like yesterday, one of my friends asked me if I could change anything about JJK, what would it be? And I was like, just like literally add 30 more chapters. You don't have to change anything. You just have to add more. Like, that's it. That's all I want. Like, I think without changing a single chapter that we got, right? Like, just adding shit would improve drastically. Like, okay, 2 more chapters on Kashima's fight. Easy, right? Let me see a chapter 2 of Hikari and Arame. Just 1 or 2, please.
You had me and you lost me. You had me and you lost me.
Hold on. Okay. Let me get a peep of like Sukuna's past a little bit more, so his conversation with Mahito feels like it has some more payoff. Because it feels like, why would Mahito know that about you? This guy's a newborn. You're kind of a private guy. You interact twice. He shouldn't know that you like felt loathing or whatever. Like just something like that really just kind of in the back of my mind. Like, it would be nice to kind of get an elaboration on the villains. Just something. I don't know. Like, more.
Yeah. I kind of get what you mean. Like, you
don't have to go into great detail and show me every little thing, but just like let it flesh out a little bit more, right? Like, okay, I'm not asking for a Hainenara flashback, right? That's too much. What I am asking for is like kind of an elaboration on the unwanted child thing, just to be like, just like those little moments of quiet contemplation Sukuna had in the fight with, like, say, Higuruma. Just more of that, basically.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fair.
What about you?
You are a more content man than me. There are definitely some things I would change, but
Like full on change, like not even just add, just full on change.
Yes.
Okay. Give me some.
Oh fuck, dude. Oh, let me get my notes here.
Yeah. Get that pen out.
I mean, honestly, I think you gotta give me something with Kenjaku, bro. Kenjaku's
Kenjaku off rip. Interesting. I thought you gave up on him as a villain
very early on, but like I don't think that makes sense though, right? I don't think that I should, as someone as invested in JJK as I am, not be down for Kenjaku to be. And Kenjaku is not my biggest or like my personal biggest priority, right? But I think he is a general. He is one of those characters to where I would be really, really, really mad if I like latched onto him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like he doesn't have all that much to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he starts the Cooling Games, the military plotline. I say doesn't mean shit a little hyperbolically, right? But doesn't mean shit. It introduces a problem Gege solves immediately, and that problem isn't really that big of a deal. It's something that we kind of already assumed that was going to be the case. In being the amount of cursed energy to even have the Cooling Games happen, right? Excuse me. And then it's like, okay, cool, nice, right? That's great. But Kenjaku is. What's a good example? He's a very big villain, man. Yeah. Like he is a huge antagonist. He's
arguably second biggest.
Yeah. You have him like as the antagonist we've been following up to this point, right? You have Mahito get cooked, and then you have Kenjaku pick him up, right? Yeah, man. Fill those shoes. Like it's not even that necessarily the narrative has to change. Like I'm not positing I'm a better writer than Gege, but I would change Kenjaku's importance,
or maybe his depiction.
His you got to give him something to do that'll pay off in some way, shape, or form. So, right? The Cooling Games ending unceremoniously means that his impact ended unceremoniously because there was no merger, right? There was no optimizing cursed energy. There was no anything.
His will didn't live on. Yeah.
His will didn't live on. And obviously, it's the same thing in Sukuna's case, right? But Sukuna is sort of, his defeat is elaborated on, right? Kenjaku's is a 4-chapter fight with a 1/ to end it all. And it's like, cool, I guess.
Let me ask you then, right? Would you change the Takuba fight? Or would you just add like something after or maybe before? Like, okay, would you change it completely or work around it in your idealized JJK?
The Takuba fight's fine. I think it works for Kenjaku if that's how you want to have him go out. If you want to have him go out to Takuba, that's fine. I think the Yuta sneak feels, maybe it's just the meathead in me, right? But you have 2 special grades that have been fucking talking shit about each other the whole time. Damn, bro. Maybe that's just the meathead, right? Whatever strategy, blah, blah, blah. You can end it off with Takuba, but something of Kenjaku has to, I feel like, be prominent for a while. He was always sleuthing in the background, always working, always scheming. And those schemes never really came to light in a way that felt super important to me.
Okay.
Right? It's like, he made the Cooling Games, cool, right? We kind of, but like, okay, I'll ask you this, right? What is the point of the Cooling Games? What is in essence, what is it supposed to do?
Like narratively or like in the context of the story?
Both.
Okay. Supposed to pave the way for the merger. Just like at the end of the day, right? Like that is fundamentally what the point of the Cooling Games is, right? It's to beef up the merger. And the merger is just melting cursed energy with, Japan and by extension the world, because Kenjaku wants to see what's on the other side. Right. That is what I believe the Cooling Games was about. And I think if you wanted to speak about it a little bit more metatextually, then you could argue it was like the realization of Kenjaku's ambition with like optimizing cursed energy in air quotes. and ultimately the way it was going to be settled was just getting rid of it. But I'm getting into my headcanon. So let me stop right here.
Okay. Yeah. And a lot of that does not come into fruition. Just point blank period. It just doesn't. And that's fine. That's whatever, right? I was not invested in Kenjaku. I didn't lose anything. But I think the value you gain from having Kenjaku be an excellent antagonist is a lot. I think it really is, because Sukuna, I'm not gonna lie, really made this last chapter feel really, really good. Like, I think the first half of the chapter is kind of the first of 271, by the way, is like okay, JJ, right? That last part, really that last third, I guess, once we get the Gojo flashback forward, really ties it together. And Sukuna and Mahito's interaction is really nice. All right. And I think that's the power of like a really good villain, a good antagonist that has like a stake in the entire overarching narrative, the whole point, the theme of it. And I just don't feel like Kenjaku has that, right? Nobody gives a fuck. You know, Kenjaku's dead. Okay, cool, whatever, right? There's no real introspection on him as a human being, him as a person who's clawed and strived to exist as this like everlasting sorcerer, right? Someone who has in all respects lived longer than Sukuna in the conventional sense, right? Sukuna survived 1,000 years, but a lot of that time is as a finger. Kenjaku's been in the field for 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is not lamented on or thought about at all upon his death. He says, damn, you know, that shit was pretty fun.
And that was it.
A piece.
Curtains.
Right? And I'm not saying every villain has to get a backstory and blah, 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 because Sukuna doesn't get a backstory here. But I think that, like, even the acknowledgement of fault, the acknowledgement of, like, either, because a lot of people, like, shit on Mahito in this chapter, and I kind of, like, I don't know. I feel like Mahito is what y'all thought Sukuna was literally last week. It's just kind of like, it's either dedication doubling down or a divergence of paths, right?
I actually
Mahito,
it's just real quick. That is so interesting. I actually had a different interpretation of why Mahito was there.
Okay.
I just thought it was fear, because like, okay, Yuji's promise is if you think about it from the context of like Mahito's perspective, right? That was not a bluff. Like, that was a threat that will last you for the rest of time. So it's this weird thing where if Mahito reincarnates, he runs the risk of like seeing Yuji again and Yuji again and Yuji again, right? And for him, it's like a possibility of you know, his fucking reincarnation cycle is one of suffering and pain and just Yuji. So for him, he's almost like scared of seeing him again, of like putting that cycle into play. So I always thought I interpreted it as like a like not even Mahito's stubbornness, but like his spinelessness. Like, I thought it was him being cowardly.
Interesting. I saw that as Gege showing the difference between a real curse and a cursed person to me, right? I viewed it as Mahito getting beat into the dirt, very similarly to Sukuna, you know, knocked off with a divergent fist, nailed with a black flash, and killed, right? Both of them acknowledging a similarity to Yuji, or in both deaths, a similarity to Yuji being acknowledged. Both of them kind of being taken down by someone they deemed like pretty weak, unimpressive, unimportant, whatever, right? Yeah. To me, Mahito is kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Meeting Sukuna at the crossroads, expecting him to join him. Yeah, expecting him to be like, yeah, you're a curse, right? You're gonna be mad that you lost just like me, right? And those feelings will bubble over and continue to incarnate into eternity, right? Like, and that's what I think the final finger is. I think it existing in the daytime, unsealed, uncovered, right, is showing a difference between how it was meant to exist in the beginning. So Sukuna going north, changing his ways, you know, picking Arame, in this instance, right, is demonstrating that while Mahito didn't change after his defeat, Sukuna is supposed to. And that's the difference between the way cursed spirits are framed and Sukuna as a curse, right? It's showing that, like, both of them stayed true to themselves in a way until their death, but post-death, Sukuna shows this ability to change. It is very human. For all of the, you know, downright evil, disgusting things he's done, right? But there's still like a reason for that is not nature, right? There's a reason for that is not like Mahito even calls him on his bullshit a little bit, right? He's like, yeah, you weren't living according to your own nature. You wanted revenge. And Sukuna he says that there's no distinction, right? But having a purpose for doing something and doing something only because you see it fit are two different things. We kind of see that when he says he wants to crush Yuji, right? Crushing Yuji is different than just, oh, I'll kill these things because it's fun, right? One has a intention behind it, and one's more of like a life philosophy. And I think Sukuna being able to admit that he not only chose this path and had other paths that were enticing enough for him to consider like viable is showing the difference between him and Mahito. Mahito's a curse. It's almost like we had this conversation the other day actually with fictional, we'll say species, right? And they're in their nature. Mahito seems to represent a curse's innate destructive tendencies, right? He just is the way that he is, in the same way that after a couple of hours you get hungry, right? There's no rhyme or reason. It just is the way it is. He desires that sort of like strife in humanity. Sukuna is not so simple. While he's learned to do that, while he's like sort of gained a taste for that suffering, it's something that is learned behavior versus like being inborn. And that's what I think Mahito was basically checking for. And Sukuna kind of was like, yeah, you're wrong. Like it's not the case. I had other options. And in Mahito's view, he's gone soft. Right. So that's how I viewed the moment.
That is so interesting. Yeah. Cause it's not that I didn't think about that. It was more like I was kind of going through the reasons why Mahito would still be there, aside from his pride or his, it was also kind of implied technical ability. Like Sukuna was there because he could also perceive and see the soul. So like putting that aside, right? If we're just speaking about, this is like a gateway in the reincarnation cycle, why would Mahito still be there? And why would he be having this interaction with Sukuna? You could argue, yes, because Mahito's ideals are very firm. And he is a true, hashtag curse. He has always been what he always will be, right? And he doesn't want to change, right? But for me, the reason I thought it was cowardly was when you factor in that curses are pretty immortal in the grand scheme of things. Like they will get reincarnated, right? Humans don't. Mahito shouldn't. The only reason he's still in there isn't even just ego, right? But it would almost be like a fear, almost there has to be something he is avoiding, right? Because ostensibly this is not the end for him, nor is it really the end for Sukuna. Nor is it for Hanami or any of the curses we see. So yes, he has the ideals of a curse. Yes, he has his stubbornness as like a shitty person, or just somebody who's very evil, right? But all curses are evil, like you said yourself, right? It's to them it is like breathing, right? Like that's what they are, right? So it has to be something deeper than just your basic, I'm a bad person. I'm an evil curse. And for me, the only thing that was left was like, yeah, this guy's scared. He's scared of something. And the only thing really that I could see him being scared of is seeing Yuji again without the knowledge of who Yuji is, right? I think Mahito isn't necessarily just scared to lose his sense of self. But I think he's scared to go through the same thing, right? Like I think he's scared to lose his sense of self and end up back here because of Yuji, if that makes sense. I mean, because there's almost like a hell it's a double-edged hell sword, right? Hear me out. So it's hell for Mahito because he's living in constant fear of Yuji without any sense of time for when Yuji's, dying, right? So if he reincarnates, then and Yuji's still alive, then he's back here, but he loses being Mahito, right? He's, he gets another name, he gets whatever, right? But if he doesn't reincarnate, if he does reincarnate, then that's it. Like the cycle continues and he doesn't know any better other than just Yuji, just this pink-haired teenager just wailing on him for like hundreds of years maybe.
I mean, so fear could definitely be part of it, or fear could be, that's definitely like not an invalid interpretation, especially the way UD did him at the end, right? But The reason I differ is just because I think we've seen curses linger, right? Like Hanami and Dagon linger for Jogo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's as far as I understand, there's no like real implication of like an inborn fear beyond death for them. They seem to just be kind of like, and granted, their waiting time is a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that I think Mahito is capable of doing so is like, I think if like reincarnation is a process that takes time, which is implied because when Jogo and or when the Deathgrisses in general are talked about to be incarnated, it's a process that like their consciousness takes essence and takes hold like hundreds of years before their physical bodies do, right? Like the process is not one that they either go left and they're back or go right and they pause or whatever. I think all Mahito's curse technique allows them to do is remain conscious until that process happens. Like whereas, you know, Jogo, Dagon, Hanami, whatever curses like that would lose their ego, right? Their consciousness, their ability to reason and differentiate those things. Mahito's technique specifically allows him to just linger in purgatory until it's his time. Which is, and I also think that he's doing so specifically to see Sukuna. Like, I also think he wants to have that conversation with him because in every other instance in which they've met, Mahito was under the threat of death if he like actually tried to sit down and have a conversation. So I think there's motivations to sit here. I wonder if there's even a spite in the hopes that he does see Yuji, right? I could imagine that he's you know, waiting, keeping his consciousness, you know, whatever, actively participating in the reincarnation process, or at least being aware of it, in the hopes of seeing Yuji die and like having that conversation, being kind of snarky, like, "Hey, you died too, buddy. Like, what was all that? What was all that bullshit about continuously killing me? I didn't even reincarnate once. Like you got one. It's only 1-0, buddy. What happened to all that shit you was talking?" So I don't know. I think there are a lot of interpretations you can go with it, and I think that's kind of Gege's intention with something like this, where it's unexplainable enough to where it's like, yeah, man, Mahito's just here. He has a soul technique, and Sukuna can kind of like also interact with the soul in particularly unique ways. So
it's how do I say this? I don't think your interpretation and my interpretation are necessarily at odds. I definitely think there is a harmony that can be reached there. The reason I just lean more towards fear is just because like the way he interacts with Sukuna, there's like a surprise almost. Like you could say, oh, he did kind of expect him there, but for him, it's not like I didn't get the feeling that he was waiting specifically for Sukuna. At least like just from my reading. Like let me look again.
Yeah, and he's like, "Howdy, Sukuna. Who would have thought I'd see you here?"
So
that implies surprise. Yeah. But the reason I say that, like, I say I wonder if he's being tongue in cheek only because he's like, I meant to ask you. Like, when the fuck were you gonna ask him? Like, weren't you lying to yourself or whatever?
No, I mean, like, if he's here, right? You're like, while you're here, because again, that was just like it wasn't so much planning, but it was more like seizing the opportunity in front of him. Like that like for me, I don't think Mahito was in there and staying in there for any other reason than just fear of like losing his sense of self, losing, to Yuji again. Like it didn't seem like Mahito's ability gave him anything other than the option to run away a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to say he's able to be here in this like purgatory because of his technique and so he doesn't lose his sense of self, sure, right? But like, I think the deeper reason for that is like, he talks a big game, but I do think it comes from an underlying place of just coward, like just being a coward, just not wanting to confront that, not wanting to lose that, and again, just not wanting to see Yuji to send him back here.
Fair enough. Yeah, I like that interaction though. It was my favorite part of the chapter.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you disagree with my take, or like, is it?
I think it's like when I call Mahito stubborn, it's not really like it's not supposed to be a positive thing. I think it's like obstinate in the way that like a child is, right? Obviously, and he's like whining. So I don't necessarily like. It's just a difference in motivation. It could be both like, you know, a fear of Yuji and not being willing to confront it can also be considered childish. So it doesn't have to contradict the interpretation. But I see it as more of like a unwillingness to accept loss, right? Like a so and that's why I think when he's like whining or whatever, right? I'm the only one left sulking like a child, right? Like I'm the only one that's being a sore loser over this. Sukuna is able to take the loss and stride of like, oh, of course my ideals change. I got fucking cooked,
yeah.
Right? This Yuji put his hand in my chest. Yeah, I changed my ideals, bro.
Whereas Mahito's the power of friendship got hands.
Yeah, where Mahito's more like I'm unwilling to, right? And I was hoping that you would also be unwilling to until we incarnate as another curse, blah, 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 right? That's kind of how I see it. It could be, it does not have to be in contradiction, but I just think the primary motivation is like a stubbornness of like a folding arms and crossing, like, no, I didn't lose, no, you kind of thing. And he was hoping to confide in Sukuna or confide in, you know, whoever, right? That sort of Sukuna just happened to be a good character for him
bounce
to
it off of,
yeah, because Sukuna also lost to Yuji. Sukuna also kind of held ideas very similarly to Mahito, in a sense at least. So it was someone that he could actually like kind of talk to on a similar level. But that's how I see it. That's how I see it.
Okay, that's fair. I said, right, I don't think our takes have to be contradictory. I think Mahito's complex enough for it to be a lot of things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
it's completely fair.
Also, just like a little touch was Yuji was the panel right before both of them appeared. So I thought that was just like a nice like thing to lead into it. Like, because he was responsible for sending them both like, there.
Cooked both y'all.
Oh, he got you too, huh?
Yeah. One thing I will say, I was talking to Liv about this. The reason I think, so I'll say this in regard, because we were kind of talking about JJK Part 2 as an idea a little bit ago, but
W empathy.
In my opinion, I honestly don't think people want. I don't think people want. Let me not say what I think people want. I don't think a JJK Part 2 like that goes very far into the future is a really good idea for the type of writer that Gege is, I think.
Okay.
And the reason is pretty simple, right? It's easier to imply change. It's harder to write it. And an interesting story, I think, right? So a lot of these things about Jujutsu Society are implied to be different moving forward, right? The conservatism, the clans, even Tengen maintaining the barrier physically and eating star plasma vessels, Sukuna fingers, all of those things, right? There's a very vague but pretty pointed implication that these things are changing for the better. Yuji is going to surpass Gojo, quote, in his own way, right? And that's kind of like the next generation in general. That's cool. It's flowery, it's nice, it's beautiful, whatever, right? That starkly changes when you have to write it and not imply it, right? And not just write it, but write an interesting story alongside of it, right? Because interesting stories require some sort of conflict, right? And in a battle shonen, conflict means enemies to fight. Now, I'll ask you this, right?
Okay.
If it's not someone from a noble clan, if it's not like an incarnation of Sukuna, if it's not Kenjaku, if it's not disaster curses are no longer really an issue, right? What can be the thing that causes conflict for these characters in a world that is, you know, Yuji, Megami, Nobara, Yuta, Maki, like all of these characters have gotten stronger and surpassed, quote unquote, Gojo in their own way, right? They've improved. There's a unity. There is a communal effort to handle these things in a way that there wasn't before, right? What entity exists that could provide an interesting back and forth? And I think there are startlingly few, right? Even think of this like incarnated player. This is the average. This is what most like incarnated players, or not incarnated, but like modern sorcerers that were a result of the Culling games probably are. They're people that have curse energy now and like random curse techniques.
Okay,
so it can't really be them, right? This got cartoon eyes. Okay, cool. Right? Maybe you have like another Higuruma. Maybe. Okay, that's an advanced grade 1 at best. That's Yuji food, right? It's sort of like, okay, and then maybe you're like, okay, well, maybe you don't have to have a conflict there. Maybe they're like kind of political, social commentary. And in that sense, I'm like, nothing about the way Gege is written makes me inclined to believe that is his strength as a writer, right? So if you're not going in that direction, if you're not going in the super like confrontational new threat, and you're going 5-10 years into the future, now Gege has to write what a new and improved Jujutsu Society looks like, right? And I think there is a stark difference between knowing that one version of society is bad and knowing what the better version of society looks like, right? And that's what I think a JJK Part 2 that's far in the future, I don't think works. I don't think, it's not that it can't work, it's that Gege does not strike me as the type that would really flourish well in that ecosystem, because now he has to establish a new world with new rules and new traditions, right? And you have to, people like us are going to be scrutinizing this tradition is still there that was pretty troublesome, and this and this, and there's going to be those things that are very open to scrutiny that are not with implications.
Right. That's fair. Yeah. Fuck.
And Liv, you bring up the stealing sorcerers back from America. Listen, that's sick as hell if they're not fodder. Like I don't need a one shot on it, bro.
Okay.
I honestly,
you know what? Let me
saying Maki intended to go get him. That's cool. That's all I needed, because
let me black flag. Let me baton pass. Let me baton pass, right? Because I want to yes and you, right? It's not just that, but also I think following these characters has fucked up our perspective a little bit. In a lot of ways, the series implies that Sukuna and Gojo kind of, put their thumbs on their respective side scale. So when Gojo was born, curses got stronger, and when Sukuna was active, the sorcerers got stronger, right? Both of them are now gone. So the kind of implication is that there is now a much better average across the board, right? Shit is just more balanced, more spread out, right? It's not the fucking Hayden era. Nobody's sharpening their blades like that. So your average sorcerer, if they're even awakened, right, and while Tengen's barrier is still active, is kind of ass. Like, even, the American soldiers, if you want to say, what's his name, Haba? Even if you want to scale to Haba level, which I know is kind of asking for a lot, most Jujutsu Society, it's not as like grand as Yuki's vision, right? But it seems like we've kind of entered into a state of like normalcy with the system until like maybe somebody is a little bit of an outlier. But there's no pressing threat on either side. You know what I mean? They're able to just kind of exist in this limbo where the cycle continues, but the world isn't at stake.
Yeah. Which is fine. Like, that's cool. That's a nice way to end a story, right? But when you're a writer that really thrives off of implications, off of like ambiguity and like high concepts, but not necessarily going too far into them, that's cool. That's fine, right? But I don't think that getting into the nitty-gritty aspect of it, I don't think that's Gege's strength, right? I just don't. And it's not out of like any knock towards him as a writer. It's just his political and social explicit commentary is either very, very like far and few between, or it's just not, it doesn't stack up to his character writing, to his themes, to his whatever, right? It is just the weaker aspect.
Like, not to be a dick about it, but like Gege he's doing the best he can with what he's got. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to shit like that. And I don't know if he necessarily has the knowledge, the skill, whatever you want to call it, to really stand and co-sign something like that ambitious.
Someone just said JJK Hillark on the way. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I stand. It's not like that's why I think if you want a sequel, that shit's gotta. It has to be and even then rebuilding Jujutsu Society, like that's a lot of explicit things you got to kind of go over if that's the crux of it. I don't know.
Yeah. Stuff. So I want to like if he does it, we'll be here tapped in. We won't even have to rebrand.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, like for what it's worth, I do want to see him move the needle like that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I want to see and experience good manga.
Fair.
I'm not the type, but I like to indulge every now and then.
I think JJK has no major fault. It just has minor nitpicks that snowball. I don't know. I don't even think by that logic Yuki is a major fault. Like one character, right, getting cooked. And here's the thing, right? I think we all wanted Yuki to be a lot more, but she was kind of hyped up ambiguously, right? Like I would say fumbling Kenjaku is a worse crime than fumbling Yuki because Kenjaku is like obviously, if not second, at worst, third most important antagonist in the entire manga.
Yeah.
Right. So Yuki is always been a character. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not backtracking on being sorely disappointed at the whole Yuki thing. Right. That's not what I'm saying. But Yuki is not the benchmark for major things going wrong. Like, I think the major thing going wrong is no particular instance. It is a, for lack of a better word, a choice, right? And an artistic decision Gege goes with, and for better or worse, he sticks to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I really think that's about it. Like I don't think it has to be any more complicated than that.
Let's see.
Just IMHO.
Yeah, let's catch up on some of these. Sun Astria, thank you for being a member for 10 months. Happy final chapter. Been here since Sendai Colony and watched like 90% of the stream since. Thanks for making me laugh and smile the whole way. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
That, yeah.
Very, very kind comment. Thank you.
I would have taken just smiling, but laughter too.
Laughter?
Look at us, bro. We're coming up. We're coming up.
Cream tries to stop that from happening, but I do my best. Stretch thing with a 5. With JJK concluding today, let me ask you something. What is the main message of JJK as a whole?
I don't know. Enjoy your youth.
I think it. Let's see.
That's so disingenuous. Hold on, let me give you a better answer. Like, let me not. I didn't mean to make that sound like I was just dismissing it.
I think it's. I think it's a very community-based, like, it rejects isolationist sort of ideas, right? Individualism is not the way to go. Sharing your burdens with people, and sharing the mundanities of life, right? Big or small, is of the utmost importance. Because every time somebody does the opposite, they are almost always fucking cooked.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, enjoying your youth is just my go-to, considering, Gojo, whatever. The value of life isn't like intrinsically magical. It's the people you share it with and what you make of it. Life has value because you assign it value, and you get what you give. So make it, give what you can.
Okay. Philosopher Creams.
Yeah, that's 2 today. I know.
Bro, I can actually put JJK in the completed category on any list.
Oh, finally.
Fuck, dude. No, that hurts. That hurts. That's been on reading forever, gang.
Oh.
That's been like one of the first things I see every time I log into AniList, bro. And that's gonna change. That's crazy.
Let me peep your AniList, by the way. I'm so curious. Hold on.
Oh my god, bro. Pocket Washa. Let me read out this. Aaron Cecil Xavier, thank you for the 5. Happy final chapters, goats. Looking forward to future pods. I can't believe this shit ruined my life for 5 years, and now I don't know what to do without it. God, bro, just describe like half of the JJK community. Fuck.
Yeah.
Google me, think with the 50. Been a Journey, guys, is legit the only podcast I can listen to without feeling the need to click away. BR, you're the funniest and intellectually engaging person to listen to, and Creams. It's been fun, but now I got to take my next gamble. I appreciate that. I appreciate that last part. Oh, fuck. Holy shit. And Creams. Holy.
And Creams is nuts, man.
Oh, fuck, dude. That's killing me. Oh, shit. Just some nerd. Thank you for being a member for 10 months. If there's gonna be in the past, or new protagonists will be weaker. If there's a new villain, it'll be someone who's the opposite of Sukuna, whoever it is. The opposite of Sukuna just sounds like a good guy, bro. But I think I get what you're getting at. It's just funny. It's like the opposite of Sukuna is like a dude who loves people and loves life, bro. Like shit, that just sounds like Yuji. Let's see. King Nija, thank you for the 20. Honestly, as someone who's been reading shonen manga weekly for over a decade now, damn, I know. The ending is whatever to me. When you've been reading manga as long as I have, you kind of take the good with the bad. I feel that. And I will say, personally, I loved the fuck out of this last chapter. Love the fuck is crazy. I liked the fuck out of this chapter. Okay. I think the first half is weak, right? I'm gonna just be honest. The mission thing, I get Gegi's kind of going for the, the cycles, the cyclical nature of Jujutsu. I didn't fuck with it all that much, right?
Yeah, I did not like the bridge, man.
As soon as Yuji and Gojo started talking, the transition, that part was excellent. The first part was like, meh, whatever. So it kind of evens out to, I really like the last chapter. I will say this. The final stretch, questionable. 270, 271, good. 269, misplaced and weird. 268, ass. 267, type off returns, whatever, right? Gege was shooting about like 50, 60% from the field for the 5 chapters for me, right? But you always hope for more, but I'm not too mad at him. He clutched up at the last chapter. I guess I'm cool with that.
I'm glad you're able to forgive him.
Type shit. Libra 365, thank you for both $2 super chats. JJK got issues, but it is a godlike 8 out of 10. I actually want to talk about the rating in a little bit after we get through these super chats.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thank you for the 2. This title is completed. I had to stop the tears. Yeah, that shit kind of stung. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because I like. JJK is over, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why rating it and having it completed here changed shit in my head, bro. It's actually done. Like it's actually done. Fuck.
Yeah, bro. I was having a hard time with that today. I was like, this is not a break week. Like there's no more.
There's no more, bro.
That's all she wrote,
bro. Fuck.
Like that's
fucking hell.
Bro, those rebrand jokes, like it seems so far away at the time. And now we're here. Man. Yeah. Shit. Who would have thought, man? You and me.
So what I'm hearing is the power of friendship, but in cursive. Dude, it's a battle shonen. That's the theme of like every manga. Like, bro, it's the theme of One Piece, it's the theme of Bleach, it's the theme of Naruto, it's the theme of JJK, it's the theme of Hell's Paradise, it's the theme of Haikyuu, it's the theme of Kaguya-sama, it's the theme of Tokyo Ghoul, it's the theme of Vagabond. Like, all right, Vagabond I might be doing a little much with some of those, but like, like 99% of those ideas is like a repackaged, like not even repackaged. It kind of has a negative connotation. It is a spin or unique take or interpretation of people being connected to each other and what that means and why that's important, right? And it's just different explorations of certain things. But yeah, let's read the rest of these. King Naja, thank you for the 5. So when is the Kagurabachi rebrand? As soon as this fucking dork gets on the manga, I will be checking his ass at the door though. If I don't sense a 10 out of 10 amount of Kagurabachi hype, trust me, chat, We're about to start stream on Sunday. I'm gonna listen to his thoughts and opinions, and then if I don't like him, you're just gonna see Broken Ronin is gone live.
Oh my god, dude! Because like
no pressure.
And yeah, of course. And chat, before anybody comments it, yes, I've thought about switching up and going full fraud mode and just faking it. I think he can see through my ruse. I'm not gonna lie.
Not only can I see through your ruse, but I'll be more angry if you do that bullshit than if you just don't like it.
Yeah, because I know what's gonna happen. You guys have to think long term, right? Week after week after week after week. I cannot keep that up. I don't got the stamina for it. Like, maybe I can get away with one episode. At 20? Fuck.
By the way, chat, for all of Cream's strengths, being a good liar, like being able to pretend to like something has never really been one of them. I'm going to be honest.
I don't know why. I feel like that should come naturally to me. It's kind of irritating.
You're a liar, but you're not a good one. That's all it is.
I don't know.
It's unfortunately something you do very often. You just haven't mastered yet for some reason.
I don't know if there's like been a real urge to master it. You know what I mean?
Shit, bro, get good or you're cooked. Or just like Kagurabachi, the right opinion. But
yeah, that's fair. God, where did we leave off?
Let's see.
The title is completed.
Action WO. Okay, honestly, Action WO, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Honestly, I've been here since Megana and rated 7 out of 10. I would have rated a 9 out of 10, but unfortunately, a gambling bun took up too many pages. That's real. I understand it, bro. It happens.
Oh my god, man! I can't wait to get into the last thing. It's gonna be so fun. Like, fuck, bro, because there's gonna be some contention. If we end up with the same score,
I've already rated my score. I already have my score, and it's on my Annie list, so I'll have proof. You'll be biting me subconsciously. By the way, I just want you to know.
All right. I'm actually on your Annie list right now. Let me see.
Don't look, you fucking cheater.
I'm not looking at your fucking thing. I just wanted to see what you're currently reading.
He's obsessed with me, chat. Fuck. God, bro, on my nuts. All right. Anyways, Dane Simmons, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Off the top 3 moments in JJK. Updated top 3 Blue Lock favorite character rankings in JJK anime potential. Fuck, bro. Said I'm really trying to get the bang for my buck here. So I'll just JJK anime potential. Mappa might have shot themselves in both feet and then stuck their hands through nails with the way they treated their staff on season 2. I hope it looks great, but I also, not gonna lie, hope they treat people fairly more. So like shape up or ship out, bro. Like I don't know. It's kind of like
better than the Blu-ray, but like with proper working conditions. We shouldn't have to say that, by the way.
You could just pay people and then also like not ask them to do like slave hours. Like, bro, just work 18 hours every day. Like, fuck you.
Bro, like it's so funny when you consider like they have to be JJK fanboys to work through that. Like, just because like, okay, they could phone it in, right? We've seen, I'm so sorry to open up this wound, man. I'm so sorry. We've seen when Blue Lock, for instance, you can tell that there's not a lot of love for the series, if at all, like knowledge of it. And it really translates, right? We've seen corners getting cut, is what I'm trying to say. And JJK Season 2, unfortunately, it was not a passion corner getting cut. It was a time and health corner.
And pay. So it has a lot of potential. It could be one of like Season 3 could fucking. Here's the thing. I think the anime is so bombastic. Like with how many fights are in the Golden Game, Season 3 could kind of shit on Season 2, but that's only if it looks as good as Season 2, right? And I don't know if it will. And it
depends on what they extend and how they extend it. But a lot of factors. I can't wait to do like our to revive our 0.5 episodes for those. That's gonna be fun.
Should be fun indeed. Okay. Off that, top 3 Blue Lock characters.
Nagi, Isagi, Chigiri.
Okay, going for a little theme there. Isagi, Sai.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just clicked it. Isagi,
Sai, Shido. Those are Isagi's actual Sai and Shido are based on vibes. I fuck with them.
Nagi, I don't know. I just fuck with him just so hard. I don't know why. Isagi, protagonist, goat type shit. And Shigiri,
don't say it, bro.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I'm invested. I'll say it like that. I'm invested in Chigiri.
You're such a fucking hater, dude.
I know, in a good way. Jesus Christ. I just said he's top 3 for me.
No, I know what you are. But anyways,
okay. And top 3 moments in JJK. I guess I'll just like speedrun it. Gojo's first domain expansion on Jogo, so it got me like hooked. Let's see. Yuji versus Choso was excellent, and Yuji versus Mahito.
Okay. Yuji versus Choso, Yuji versus Mahito. I'm gonna say Sendai Triple Domain, like the weekly experience of that cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
I still get a high off that shit, man. That shit was so crazy. Fuck. Let me see. Let me see.
I want to ask you a question when you're done. I just thought of it.
Okay. Yeah. Yuji. Fuck. Yuji versus Mahito in general. I'll say that. And I will say recently Sukuna versus Mahoraga. Like that specifically that episode, bro.
The anime changed
my life.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
That changed my life.
Honestly, bro. And it coming right off the heels of anime Choso versus Yuji, it was so crazy. Because dude, they were boxing.
They were boxing.
When Choso pulled out the Wolverine claws, I was losing my mind.
Mm-hmm. They were boxing.
Mm-hmm.
They were
all right.
Boxing.
I got a question for you, bro.
What up?
I don't know if you've ever thought about it in great detail, but I'm fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
You like Gojo, right? As a character, you don't love him, but you like him, right?
Yeah, he cool.
Why? I'm not setting you up for a bit. I'm genuinely curious. Why don't you love Gojo? Because he seems like a pretty easy, like, alley-oop. Like he's a very brandable character, if you catch my drift, right? It's sort of like not liking Zaraki, Kenpachi. Like
Kenpachi's not my favorite character either, though.
I know, but not even a favorite character, right? Like, why aren't you like on the wave, right? Like, I guess where are you at? Just to put it in plain terms, and like, why would you say Gojo never really resonated with you?
I don't know. I mean, it's no fault of Gojo's. I think he's a really good character. He's probably one of the characters I've talked about the most on the channel, but he just I don't know. I think what I've noticed, and it's not really an intentional thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like because a lot of the characters are also badass and super talented and blah blah blah. Some things that Gojo is, but I don't know. I actually wouldn't be able to tell you because it's not necessarily something I dislike about Gojo. He just did not hit the that button to get like glaze out of me. You know what I mean? That's all it is. Like it's not a particular thing that's like, oh, he's failing here. He just didn't land. He just didn't land to the same capacity. Because you might also be surprised to the extent to which I think Kenpachi is cool, but he's not like, I don't love Kenpachi. Like I think Kenpachi's a really cool character, but he's probably not like a top 5 character for me, right?
Interesting.
In the same way like Gojo wouldn't be. And it's not like I'm not trying to be like a contrarian because a lot of my favorite JJK characters or a lot of my favorite Bleach characters, some outliers aside, are probably common picks. It's not the commonality of it, right? It's more so just, I don't know, it just didn't land to that degree.
I mean, let me explain the context for the question then, right? I've just remembered our Kakashi conversation in the first like Naruto book club, and I was like, bro, Kakashi glaze is so interesting, right? Not canonically, that's a different topic, but like metatextually, whatever, right? Like for us,
like the viewer,
for the viewer, for the reader. Kakashi glaze is a weird thing to engage in because he didn't earn a lot of it. Like a lot of it is kind of on aura points, on cool factor, on like other characters reacting to him. There's like a culture of hype with Kakashi, right? And it's just constantly reinforced. Right? It's a practicing religion.
That was crazy. That's a crazy take. That's an insane take.
So
that's actually like preposterous.
The simplified version of this question is why do we glaze Kakashi but not Gojo? Like because he's basically just a rip, but in a weird way Gojo is just sort of like an idealized version of him. So I'm curious. I am curious what the Kakashi Gojo line is, if you know to articulate that.
I mean, I think Kakashi and Gojo are similar in their sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They have a silly side to them, serious side to them.
Gojo does that.
Tragic backstory, blah blah blah. I'm saying they're similar in this way.
Okay.
But the balance is different, right? And also, I just think Kakashi is cooler. I think Kakashi is cooler. I can't get into why I think Kakashi's character is much better. Obviously, still in the process of reading it, but I think Kakashi's character for me resonated much better. I also like Kakashi more as a teacher than Gojo. Like that is an arena in which they both compete, in which I think Gojo kind of loses out.
Okay, so let me ask you something, right? Like, this isn't an interrogation, by the way. It's more like just the Kakashi Gojo discussion that I'm curious about. Obviously, the disclaimer is I'm only like 250 chapters into Naruto, so I don't know the full breadth of Kakashi's story, right? So I just know the basics and his flashback, right? Okay, so what got me was I was trying to think of like where they would differ, right? Immediate differences is that Gojo is the strongest, period, right? He's not one of, he is the strongest. So his burdens and his experiences are different from Kakashi's, despite like them being glazed at like similar levels in the series, right? Two, because of that perspective, right? Like that difference in perspective, Kakashi's gone through losses, like serious losses before, repeatedly and consistently, and arguably more tragically than Gojo. So there is like a lot more humanity in Kakashi and a lot more tragedy in Kakashi. And I was like, okay, yeah, bro, this guy's amazing. Like he's just in it, right? Like he triumph of the human spirit, right? Like they obviously have crazy differences. I'm just like speaking in broad or meathead strokes with my question.
Okay.
What I was curious was like, on paper, is Gojo more glazable because he wins more, or because of like his position, or because of like, his general demeanor, which Kakashi kind of not emulates, but like Gojo emulates Kakashi in that respect, right? So I'm wondering what like the glaze X factor is, so to speak, right? Is it because like if Gojo lost 3 times as much, right? Like if Geto died in the flashback, would that like bring us closer to like Kakashi levels of glaze, or are we like, is there something different there? Like I guess what makes for a glazable character? What's the line, and how do we get there?
I mean, Gojo's pretty glazable. People do it all the time, right? But with Kakashi, there's a sense of, and it may just be Naruto in general, but there's a little bit of a, and in my opinion at least, edge to it, and it's hard to explain in not ambiguous terms. But okay, let me give you an example, right? I think Kakashi saying to Sasuke, right, like, oh, you can't kill everybody that I love, because all of those people that are the most important to me are dead, right? I don't think Gojo has a moment like that to me where he says something and it's like it punches me in the chest like that, right? I think to me, Gojo is someone who does badass things, but there's a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not about wins and losses for me, at least, right? Because for me, a lot of my favorite characters get the piss kicked out of them constantly, right? Like, keep in mind, Toshiro is one of my favorite Bleach characters, right? Being cool is not about like the win to loss ratio. There's a certain way you can go about losing or go about winning that is cooler, or like, okay, I'll put it like this. Sukuna beating Jogo was a cooler beatdown than Gojo beating Jogo. They both fucking embarrassed base form Jogo, right? But one is, for me, and I think a lot of people would agree, one kind of has I won't say intrinsic, but like one has an allure to it that is cooler, right? The beatdown is pretty similar. Jogo is still like, fuck, dude. And one of them, he has his head ripped off, and the other, he dies. Like, there's not much of a difference in the level of difficulty it takes either of them, for base form Jogo, of course. But one, to me, and I think in a lot of people's minds, strikes as cooler, right? One of them is just a better instance of like, Gojo lost versus Sukuna, right? Gojo beat basically everybody else, but one of those instances has Gojo losing to Sukuna is arguably cooler than like a lot of his wins, right? Like maybe you could say the honored one moment is cooler, maybe, right? But like Gojo losing in my like that entire fight, despite the outcome being a loss, is cooler than a majority of his fights.
That is an interesting approach.
There's a grit, get it out the mud kind of feeling that Kakashi has that Gojo couldn't.
Okay, so like, we can say like it is suffering, like for lack of a better word, right? Like there is that like development, that trial by fire aspect to it, where it's like Gojo's coolest moment to me was his honored one moment. But that was because it came off the heels of arguably like the lowest moment in his life next to his like death, right? It was him getting his get back after being fucking embarrassed, right? It was a huge character moment for him, and it was the first time he'd felt something like that, right? And that shit felt like more earned, right? So a lot of my Gojo glaze actually was solidified in the flashback. So you
know what Jiraiya said? There's no fun in training a genius.
Yes. Yes.
Kind of like that. There's interest in the struggle. There's interest in the there's that, and there's also a lore. Take Itachi, right? Cold motherfucker.
Cold.
Badass motherfucker. And by the way, he hasn't really beaten anybody other than like
Kakashi,
Kid Sasuke, right? He runs away from Jiraiya, a goofy motherfucker. And he's like, I couldn't fight him without taking damage, blah, 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 woot, right? Whatever. But he hasn't, like, gone on a win streak. For him, it's an allure and a mystery aspect. Gojo kind of has that initially. The backstory humanizes him a lot more. It doesn't make him not a good character. It just strips a mystery aspect, right? It strips an unknowability to him. That you kind of... I feel like you're in Gojo's head a lot. I don't know. It's interesting because a lot of it is kind of just like will be vibes based, right? But I fuck with super mega talented characters too, right? Like Sasuke, super talented character.
But also Sasuke was getting his shit rocked.
He was also getting his shit rocked, getting that shit out the fucking mud. I mean, is there another Gojo archetype of character I'd be interested in seeing if like...
Yeah, okay. Like, are you actually down to hash this out? Because like I'm very interested. Okay, so let's go through like... I guess Saitama, right?
I like Genos more.
Okay. We're so
get that
beauty in the struggle.
When he gets his ass kicked, I'm like, you know what? Because there's an aspect to it that's like, fuck, dude. I fuck with Garo more than Saitama too, right? And Garo be getting his shit kicked in. Go because I feel like it makes those wins. It makes the wins that happen like fuck yeah. Like, I saw you earn that shit.
So there is there's like a mental like Dragon Ball-esque kind of trial by fire, right? Where it's like, dude, I'm not seeing you in the time chamber. I'm not seeing you with like, weights on.
And that's I'm still a proponent. I'm still a proponent of training arcs, right? I think the Rasengan hits harder on its introduction, right? Because we saw this nigga Naruto be like, fuck, dude, I'm getting cooked. I'm like, I put it all on the line here, right? And then when he gets stabbed through that hand, he summons that shadow clone and nails that shit. It's like, yeah, that's what I was fucking waiting for. That's what I was fucking looking for, right? And to me, that's how I get caught in the cycle of like, I'll say fucking with these lovable losers is like that struggle is so enticing to me. Like, yeah, and you can't just be a loser, right? For example, I know people fuck with Renji. I'm not shitting on Renji. I am shitting on Renji. I know people fuck with Renji though, right? Yeah. The thing with Renji is that he never gave me the vibe of like someone that I was gonna see like get it out the mud or change their mentality in a way that was interesting to me, right? Personally, at least, right? It just didn't resonate. His motivations, his like the way he went about expressing those motivations, right? But there is a certain like, I see something in you. That shit is buried under something. I think that's also part of it, right? Seeing a flame that is not being tended to properly continuously grow larger and hotter is very nice to see, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So like Kakashi's obviously like, you have to balance it. Kakashi's obviously very strong, but he's never really portrayed as like the answer to every situation and every problem in the way that Gojo kind of is.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'll say this. if you contrast that with someone like Meruem, who's like kind of that overpowered archetype, I think in introducing a sort of level of vulnerability very early on, you were able to sort of substitute strength out, right? And does that make sense? Where it's like Meruem is not physically weak, but there's an immaturity there.
A kryptonite, a vulnerability, kind of like that. Okay.
Something to be improved upon. Whereas I feel like Gojo, in a lot of ways, the version we see him is the one who's made the decision and is resolved in that way. And that's cool, but that's kind of how we see it.
So
right?
This is the one time I'm not going to do Gojo glaze, but say something glaze worthy. I think you don't like characters that are perfect. Like
Jesus Christ, dude.
You know what I mean?
Fuck it out.
That are like narratively
the white hair, the blue eyes, oh my god, his height. Stare, like, all right, bro. Like, we get it, man.
His voice, but you know what I mean. Like, there's like a character. Okay, then what about Aizen?
Nah, Aizen cool as fuck, bro.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know what you want to tell you.
So
bro.
we found So we could say we found the line there, right? I mean, Aizen's obviously the greatest exception. He's an exception to every rule. Kind of the GOAT, like that. Like handsome too, great looking, like just the best villain, all fiction type shit, bro. Like the archetype.
Okay, bro.
Every villain should be like him.
Get it. Yeah, sure.
Hey, bro.
Bro, drowning in it. I'm sick.
Hey, bro. Glug glug. Swim. What the fuck you want from me?
You're a sick motherfucker, by the way. I just want you to know.
Bro,
and you know that.
I can't believe I don't have an Aizen statue. Holy shit. I have an Ichigo one, but not an Aizen one. Fuck, bro.
Bro.
Can you add a stop? Hey, we'll talk about it.
Can you add a stop? Bro, there's something wrong with you. Deeply wrong with you.
Holy shit, bro. I can't believe I never noticed that until now. Oh, I'm so ashamed. I even have a Hisoka one. What the fuck?
Oh my. Yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't know, because here's the thing, right? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Aizen cool as fuck, bro. I don't know which one to tell. Maybe it's because Aizen is a thing to be surpassed, not the person trying to stop the like. Maybe like when it's on the protagonist side, it's less enticing. Because I'm like,
I see.
Something to root for isn't really necessary. Like, yeah, you got it.
Okay.
If Aizen is something to be, if I know he's the antagonist, I know the intention at least is to beat him, right? Him seeming perfect is not really an issue because I know that, subconsciously, despite all of like the ass whoopings he was handing out, that he will be beaten or something of the sort eventually, right? The excitement not only comes from him as a character and what that means for him, but I also can sort of store away any reservations I have towards that archetype because I know that it'll be trumped specifically. And that might be why Gojo's best moment to me is when he loses, right? And like that, you shot Superman with the kryptonite bullet. That being said, it's tough though, because I do fuck with like All-Star Superman, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask about Superman, yeah.
And that does kind of feel like a very perfect character, but for him,
it's a curse. Like he's gonna die,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for there's also that. There's the literal factor of like mortality being put into play there. There's also like, I don't know. He's so much different from Gojo. It's hard to even compare outside of just like being the pinnacle of strength, right? The only similarity in that instance is that his humility exists. His all of these things that like I think kind of innately make you feel less opposed or less whatever.
I mean, for Superman, specifically also Superman, confrontation was more like that was not going to be the resolution to anything. It always felt like with Superman, usually it's more of a philosophical argument. Like this guy has all the power to force you to change your mind, but he chooses to like want you to do it organically, right? Because he's a good guy like that. Because he's human,
notes.
Right? Okay, all right, bro. Why have a conscience when you could have a broken Ronin in your ear?
Oh no, brother! Pa Kent can only do so much when you're in the field, bro. You're in the field, motherfucker. Lock in.
What would BR want me to do in the situation? Hold on, criminal, grab him by the neck. I gotta make a phone call.
Holy shit, dude. Grab him by the neck. Maybe don't do that for the maybe because I could see you being like, I accidentally fucked your whole, you're paralyzed now, bro. Well, you shouldn't have stolen something. Like, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't seem like a just punishment.
Well, there, hold it, purse snatcher.
Yeah, no, bro.
Actually, you're kind of running from me kind of fast.
Look at you, bro. Relax. Running from me kind of fast. You're Superman, gang. Unless he was breaking the sound barrier, I don't think you're justified.
No, but I couldn't see my first villain with powers and get like a devilish smile on my face, like, ooh, somebody who can take it.
Justification? Yeah, no, bro.
No. I couldn't be like, is that my dark side?
No, bro. Because I know you would hit him like he is, bro. and that dude might just be like Captain America level. And you've punched this motherfucker through 75 buildings.
No, I couldn't.
Like, bro, chill out.
I got one free one, right? I got the first one that's like, oh, I thought you were stronger. You got to give me that one, right?
No, bro, I don't have to give you that one. Here's the thing, bro.
You said I could get one free.
No, I didn't. First of all, you know I didn't say that bullshit. Second of all, bro, you go in underestimating so you don't kill him. If you punch him and he doesn't flinch, up it a little bit. Don't go in swinging as if this motherfucker is you. Like, how does that make sense, bro? Oh, I don't know how strong he is. Let me hit him with the planet-busting haymaker. What? Are you... I was going to ask a question that I know the answer to.
Okay. All right. So we still got to workshop some stuff. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, some stuff. Needless to say, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. That's fine.
Keep your fists in your pockets for the time being, bro. Fuck.
Not in my city. Oh, fuck, dude.
All right, bro.
Bro, restraint really is the name of the game.
Wow, who would have thought?
Like, because I couldn't be hearing like the radio or some shit. I'm like, all right, debut time. Like, no, bro, this is a crime.
No, not debut.
There's no cameras there. This is a purse snatching. Yeah. You gotta relax.
Yeah.
But I called the news already.
Yeah, no, bro. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'll let you handle some super chats in the time being.
All right, but Shadowstar, thank you for the 5. Toshiro is my guy. He may have an entire outfit's worth of L's to his name, but he got that shit on though. Oh fuck, dude! Hitsugaya slander is like the funniest thing in the world because anybody who does it will do it with the most hesitation, resistance. Like they are not happy about it. Like Toshiro anti-glaze is different from Renji anti-glaze. Like Renji anti-glaze is almost a given, right? Renji slander is almost like a rite of passage for a Bleach fan. It just means you're reading the series correctly. But but Toshiro, man, you're still reading it correctly, but fuck, you're not happy about it. He was so much cooler when he was Aura, man. Just some nerd thing for the 5. You can only understand Gojo if you're the best at something. How can you understand someone who is great and exceptional when you're not? Man, okay, I'm gonna respond to that in kind, right? So the reason I really fucked with Gojo, despite not being the best at really anything I do, is I just fuck with strong characters. I don't know. Like, there is something for me that's like not enviable, but like admirable about characters who just simply have their shit together. And it's something that I really, really enjoy because I don't usually. So it feels like, oh, damn. So this is what it would be like. Does that make sense? Yeah. Angel of Access, thank you for the 5. As a bi man, that's the gayest thing I ever heard. Creams. No wonder I call y'all gay. Angel of Access, I don't know what to say to you. Like, I get it. There's apparently a long line of people doing that. You're not special, bro. Fuck. I hate that there's a line, but it's there. Barehand Shark, thank you for the 10. It's surreal being here at the end of Sorcery Fight. It's been a fun ride and led me to find my favorite podcast. Yeah, man, it has been a ride making this podcast. I think we got into it. Hold on, let me actually check the VODs real quick. Like, let me see where JJK was at when we started doing this podcast. Like, even live, right? Because we started doing the live streams around episode 17 or 18. That was 2 years ago. Oh my god. It was Kashimo's introduction is when we started the podcast. Like, Isn't that nuts? Just absolutely sinister work here. Man, you could... Oh, brother, it's so archaic. Like, it's nice to see that we've evolved over the years. And thank you for watching. To all of you who've been saying that, thank you for watching. Just to reiterate, the podcast is not ending. We're looking back fondly. Just want to be clear that we're all on the same page here. But yeah, it's so crazy, man. Like Naoya's comeback, Kashimo's introduction, the thing with Kenjaku going to the US, that was all brand new. Like that was, we were covering that shit weekly. Yeah, Yuki versus Kenjaku. Oh my god, man. The Honored Ones 1 year later, New Year's thing. I wonder if we followed up on that. Did we do New Year's for last year?
I think we did.
Right? I can't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
Let me see.
What super chat were you on?
I caught up, yeah.
As a bi man, that's the gayest thing I've ever heard. Creams don't wonder and call y'all gay.
I already told him that. Yeah, I already told him there was a line.
Oh god, Angel of Axis. Fuck, dude. You don't get it. You reread the manga, bro. If you don't know who base Jogo is, or rather, like, how we extrapolate the extra forms, like, please just read JJK. Fuck.
There's...
God,
bro, we had to have. Yeah. Bro, my god, I heard it. This... Fuck.
Had to? Oh, nah, bro.
Two? Yeah.
You mean... No, bro. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, no, we can't. Yeah, we can't rehash this, bro. We gotta chill. Chill. Yeah, no, I think we technically did, but I can't seem to find it. Was it the Yuta versus Sukuna prediction? No, that was 8 months ago. It's been 9 months, so it had to have been 9 months ago. Liv, did we do a New Year's stream? Wait, hold on. Let me see if I remember the timeline correctly.
Okay.
Oh my god, I don't think we did.
Did we not?
Because I think there was a big holiday break for you and me, but specifically you.
Okay.
So I was on vacation. Oh my god, I know what we were doing. Holy shit! Let me text you.
Okay. I know what we were doing. Let's see. Oops. What did I do here? Fucking hell.
Check your DMs.
All right. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I remember. You remember it was a huge problem because like we couldn't just we were both chronically unavailable because we were both like on vacation.
Oh yeah. I do remember.
Like it took us a fucking while to meet up.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, very insane, very wild.
We're on vacation, chat. That's like the short answer.
Yeah. All right, bro. It's time. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Sorcery fight, the last chapter.
Oh, I was gonna ask, bro. Well, we can get into it. I feel like we talked about the Sukuna Mahito aspect.
Yeah.
We can talk about I want to talk about Gojo and Yuji before I get into any negative stuff. How do you feel about it, bro? You know, you got to see your glorious king one last time.
Yeah. It felt nice for him to put it so bluntly, I guess. Where he was like, essentially, y'all have to get off. Fuck.
I can't. Talking to you, by the way.
Not me, bro. I set up shop. I'm home. But like, he was like to other people, he was like, nah, bro, y'all gotta hop the fuck off. Y'all are A, crowding creams. There's not a whole lot of room left. B, simply put, you have to fly on your own. All right, Mama Bird needs to leave the nest. You guys are lock in. I don't know what to tell you. So it was nice for him to just kind of spell it out so plainly, and for him to be like, listen, basically, if I failed, don't copy that. You know, like, it's okay to flip the script if what I'm doing doesn't work. You know, like, Either way, are y'all gonna be on it forever, or do you plan on growing up?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd say that he was like that he'd already accepted that he failed before fighting Sukuna, but I don't think that him failing has anything to do with the outcome of the fight. I think him failing was like his life.
Yeah.
Especially post Ghetto. That like, no, I already failed. Don't copy me, because what I've done at least up to this point has been incorrect. My best decisions have been you guys.
Yeah. Also, like if we're going down the list, aside from you guys, just higher ups, Ghetto, I have a laundry list of grievances and regrets. You know, let's hand on your shoulder. This is not the move.
Let's leave that one behind, bro. I'm not really fucking with this playthrough. Can I be honest?
Like, I'll be honest with you guys. If I wasn't me, like really think about that, right? Would you want to emulate it? Are you seeing like a compelling fucking case being made? Like shit. It's like,
bro, I have so much unresolved trauma. I saw my best friend and froze up in the middle of the battlefield, bro. I cannot be trusted. Holy shit. I'm not cooking shit.
Dozens of people died because of that, by the way. Like,
bro, that's the reason I'm about to go fight Megami or Sukuna in Megami's body, bro. I let that shit slide because I couldn't get over my boyfriend.
Like, yep. You see like, this, like hand on your shoulder. You see this pointing to like everything. All of this, the bed that I made.
That's me.
Yep. Like,
bro, I could have just asked Ghetto, "Hey, how you doing, gang?" We might have been able to prevent all of this. That's all on me.
Yep.
That's me.
Yeah, like honestly speaking, bro, if I die, like kind of deserve, like just a little bit.
W, like look, not W, but like, you know, I'm gonna try to move on in the midst of this battle. Like, I hope you guys can understand it.
UG, I don't have adult friends, man. It's you guys. Like, it's not good for me. Like, fuck, bro.
Dude, Shoko don't even, like, me and Shoko... When's the last time I talked about Shoko about shit, bro?
Like, bro, all she does is chain smoke and just gamble. Like, and Mei, God, kill me.
Bro, Urahime genuinely does not fuck with me, bro. I've tried to talk to her multiple times. She just keeps throwing shit at me. Like, what the fuck?
And failing. It's actually super embarrassing.
I don't think she understands how this whole infinity thing works, but I'm not going to be the one to break the news.
So it's either you guys or the old guitarist, and fuck.
Well, let's just say I'm going to fight Sukuna for a reason.
Yeah. Honestly, Yuji, I might throw. Just be ready for that, bro. Like I'm saying all this shit out loud. It might
get in, bro.
Yeah, like. I'll help you guys out, but like just know I'm tired. I had a lot of time to think in there in the prison realm, and I realized, you know, shout out metaphors, but basically the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine. I was in there for a couple hundred years. I'm fine because like, what's the difference?
Yeah.
At least in death, maybe I can relax.
Yeah, get to see my big homie again. Like,
shit, bro. Bro, he couldn't start trauma dumping like that. Yeah. Like, you know,
bro.
you know what you have that I didn't at your age, UG, besides like powers, good looks, and like height? Friends, plural. You got me, bro.
Yeah, bro. Nanami's dead. Haibara's dead.
Yeah.
Shoko don't fuck with me. Ghetto's dead. And he came back and fucked with me. And then he died again.
Yeah.
Or is going to die again.
Like, I'm done.
Like, bro, I'm honestly hoping Sukuna goes out there and shows me something special, or I'm cooked.
Like, I'll be honest with you, you know, even realer, Yuji. If Sukuna's out there and, you know, he and I bond, I might switch up. Like, it might be a 2v all of you. Just, you have a lot to worry about, basically.
One of those things is not trying to be me.
So, you know, get to work. Imagine getting a pep talk like that, by the way.
That shit would be ass. God damn, bro. Thanks, Gojo. I really appreciate that. I think.
Nah, if you're Yuji, right? How you moving? Like, how are you responding to that? Like, damn, bro. Like, I don't know. Let's get dinner. Fuck. I didn't know it was this bad.
let's get dinner. He's like, Yuji, respectfully, you're 15, bro.
Like when I say this is the best I got, bro, I got a 15-year-old asking me to get dinner with him. It is not good for me, gang.
And it's cool, bro. You're my student. I actually really do fuck with you. I just need variety.
Also, I just need. I know it's Japan, bro, but like I can't just somebody my own age. Hell, I'll take a 3-year like over under on it.
And person, look at me. I should not be negotiating. Like,
no, you seriously look at me. Everything I've just told you is by being this. Imagine I was like 5'4" and like uglier.
Bro, imagine the 6 eyes actually gave me 6 eyes, bro.
Yuji, we wouldn't be having a pep talk. Like I would not have made it this far, gang. This shit sucks. Like
fuck, dude.
Yeah. Jade 2011 for the 2 passive crash out Gojo is crazy. Yeah, bro. Choso narrator moment right here.
Gojo, the loneliest, stupidest, saddest motherfucker in Jujutsu. Yeah, nah, bro. Holy shit.
Super Senior Gojo.
Super Senior Gojo is crazy.
Nah, bro, because like Gojo couldn't be training with Yuji and be like, man, this is my best friend, and just start like crying. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Fuck, it's him, bro. I got a 15-year-old as a best friend. He's like fucking beaming, like, hey sensei, like, holy shit, bro. He's not hopping off either. Shit, Geto, why did you leave me with them?
And Geto just whispers, bro, you didn't check up on me once. I lost like 20 pounds over the course of one summer. I had bags under my eyes that could genuinely carry shit. And your thought was, damn, bro, the summer heat getting to you? Fuck you. Like,
nah.
Like, when you think about it, bro, it's like, damn, Gojo, how you doing?
Oh my god.
I killed you?
Bro, because like that dinner offer, he couldn't have been like, fuck, that's what I should have said. God damn it.
Yeah. No. He couldn't be like, no. Kenjaku assassination's off. I have a date. Like, bro, what? Gojo, you know that's not Geto anymore. I said I have a date. I mean, bro. Shit, bro. What? We can't check you. Like, if you say you have a date, gang. But like, can you consider beating Sukuna for it? Like, I don't know. You're kind of being a little obstinate here.
You were gone for 3 hours with Takaba. What were you guys doing? I was bleeding, begging, crying, and wailing for him to try to imagine a version of Geto.
Specifically one that was not racist and loved me again. What?
But he didn't have a reference for it outside of Kenjaku, so it wasn't great.
Yeah, also Gojo there are other gay men with long hair in Japan, I promise.
But they're not sorcerers. Fuck.
So you're racist too, Gojo?
I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. I didn't really object to his mission necessarily.
The methods were just a little, I don't know, man. They were just a little rough. Like,
we could have worked it out.
Yeah, like Gojo, I'm gonna level with you for a second, bro. You gotta get some, I think.
Like, hey, because bro, Grinder's free. Like
Geto really did a number on you, bro. Like, can you? Like, how should I put this politely? Can you get over it? Everybody else gets over heartbreak.
I mean,
like, you do it
bro.
too, man.
And like, listen, bro. Like, why are you moving like you're the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like, why are you on Reddit, gang?
Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Literally go into the middle of Japan, scream, "I'm down," and you're good, bro. Why are you making this harder than it has to be?
Yeah, like, low key, you don't have to be moving like this.
Fuck, dude.
Bro, you can hit him with the.
I gotta go spiritually make out with Sukuna's essence through battle.
No.
All right, man. Sure.
Bro, you're way too respectfully, bro. You're way too hot to be doing this. Like, fuck.
No, bro. You're way too hard to be doing this. Is crazy. I respect Gojo. If I fumbled a bad like Geto, I would crash out too. Fucking funny, dude. I'm not gonna lie. 12 years, bro. 12 years.
Yeah, like hung up on your. God, bro. Like
come
actual,
on, bro.
Like I love Gojo, but like actual loser behavior, bro. Move on.
A loser. He had the equivalent of seeing his ex in a store and froze.
Bro, he
could not move.
Dude, not even that. He wasn't even mad about what his ex was doing. Like beating.
He was just like ghetto.
And fucking Maki's like, please help me. It's like, come on, hush, Maki. Adults are speaking.
He pulls up. He pulls up after he's gotten like half his body obliterated by the student. He's like, I sent extra students your way just because I knew you wouldn't kill him. Because that's not what my ghetto poo would do. Like, bro, I had full intentions on killing everybody I came out here to fight, bro. Like them surviving is a matter of Yuta's RCT being kind of goated. Like I'm not gonna lie, all of them should have been dead. Every single one. I tried to kill them.
That's not you, bro.
Not my Sugi Woogie Pookie Bear. Not him.
Not him, bro.
Gojo, I don't think you understand, bro. I'm over you. Bro, I'm a father now. Like I can't be hung up. Father.
I don't remember us having kids.
Like, no, Gojo.
Bro,
like
the funny
off.
Bro, it's so funny too, because like from Geto's perspective, this is like it's kind of sad in its own way, because like, dude, brother, how am I happier than you? I'm Jujutsu.
Geto had a family. Yeah. Geto had a family. By the way, fun little fact. Could say it's intentional. Geto's family mourned him more explicitly than Gojo's did him.
Oh yeah, like they were shaken up.
Not only were they shaken up, Mimiko and Nanako confronted Kenjaku and Sukuna about it, and Miguel and Ruru confronted Sukuna about it, and then escaped. Geto meant shit to them, man. Yeah.
Oh man. Bro, passive crash out justified. Because like the longer I'm talking, the more I'm like, bro.
The thing is though, the thing about Gojo, like I know we were just talking about like, oh, he's a perfect character or whatever. It's not really that he actually is perfect. I guess maybe it's a
technical
the way he presents that way in a lot of ways. But I think when you think about Gojo, and I've said this before, but Gojo is a fucking loser. Like, and I don't mean that in the way of like he sucks. I mean that in the way of like categorically he loses a lot. Right?
Yeah. Like
he fails. No matter how he beat Toji, he failed his mission. That's not a win, right? He lost that. He wanted to take out Jogo and get information. He was incapable of doing that. Tried to kill Hanami the first time. He didn't do that. In Shibuya, he failed there. He comes to kill Kenjaku after getting unsealed. He fails there.
Yeah.
He goes to get Sukuna. He fails there. His life is full of failures despite being like damn near an all-powerful deity. It's actually like the entire crux of his character.
Yeah, like
he is literally certifiably a fucking L magnet,
bro. Like, and it's when Gay was like,
his personal flaws, bro.
Literally, his personality. Like what's his biggest weakness? His personality in all caps. Like it's so funny,
and we joke as hate and stuff like that, right? But Gojo not being able to fucking ask for help genuinely ruined his life. Like, think about it, right? Think about it. You remember that scene where Geto like comes over and he's like, Gojo, you've been using your technique all day. You did not sleep last night, did you? Right? He's like, nah. You need help? Nah, I got it. Think about it. If he took Geto's help, a sorcerer who he saw is kind of comparable to him at that point, and they kind of took shifts, he might not have been as tired and gotten cooked by Toji.
Yeah. And
then Star Plasma Vet, Rico survives. You know, because if he's on guard and they're both like, okay,
he could have bought time. Literally, could have just bought
time. Yeah, it could have been an entirely different thing, right? And even if Gojo like loses, he gets awakened. Toji fails to kill Rico. He would have just left as soon as Rico was like beyond his reach. He would have just dipped because Toji's not. He's not here. He's like really beating Gojo was kind of the thing that he did for the love of the game, but like. Everything else was just business.
Yeah,
right?
It was a job.
He's just dipping. They just win. They just get their mission. Gojo kind of awakens or whatever, comes back. He's like, oh shit. All right, whatever. What up, friend? If he reaches out to his friend when they're both doing solo missions, hey man, you wanna hang out maybe instead of like throw an eraser at my fucking head? Test out my cursing. I don't know. I think maybe being like a I don't know. Like
was that phrase
person
like,
that was able to accept help.
what's that phrase? Like, no man is an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gojo thought differently.
I mean, himself and society kind of taught him differently, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there is like a tragedy in Gojo, like aside from just what's like, you know, blessed in power, but like cursed in you know, personality or some shit. Like, there is like a, like, if Gojo was maybe 10% weaker as a teenager, I feel like he fewer dominoes would have fallen because of it.
I mean, I think to some extent, right? But there's also an agency aspect. Like, Yuji was pushed to be a lot of things that he didn't necessarily become, right? It would have been very easy for Yuji to be vengeful, right? Yuji was pushed to be vengeful towards Sukuna. Like, that Sukuna is like goading him to hate him and like move in that kind of like way very similar to him, but he never caves. And I think Yuji's a similar age to Gojo, right? And I think like, it's not to ignore the societal pressures, but it's also to not take away agency from Gojo himself, right? Like, he had a choice in those decisions that he made. Despite those influences being influential, we've seen that when given the opportunity, Yuji can make a better decision. You know what I mean?
I think let me run some defense for Gojo here, right? Because he clearly needs it. I think the main difference would also have to be the kind of context for their problems. Like, okay, Yuji was holding like the JJK version of Satan within his body, right? Mm-hmm. For him, it was a much more pressing onslaught, and he was a much weaker person at the start of it, right? Mm-hmm. Gojo was like raised with the Jujutsu Society, so he took a lot of like the world for granted, right? And how he moved, and as a person who has the Six Eyes and Limitless, he was also bred kind of, you know, to deal with that and to kind of square away the burden of all of that for Japan. Mm-hmm. So the last thing is that despite those two things, they actually it's weird, right? Yuji was underprepared for a bigger job, and Gojo was overprepared for a smaller job. Like, if you wanted to say Gojo like might have been training or whatever for Sukuna's return, sure, right? But he wasn't. He was just trained to be like the super duper cop of the JJK verse. So the fact that even as a teenager, you know, we say, oh, he was so strong, he never really struggled. He also didn't struggle because like they were just bums. Like was that organization Q? Like that was it. Yeah. That was their best men.
Yeah.
Like there is a certain level of like needless Kashimo stray, but there was kind of an era, a farmers era, like energy to Teen Gojo's like environment.
For sure.
So I think that also like factors into a lot of why he was the way he was. Like Toji was like a weird difficulty spike in the grand scheme of things, right? Not just for Gojo as the person who has like the Six Eyes and Limitless, right? But think about it from the context of like the power scale, right? You got a guy who, you know, you're Teen Gojo. You're just clearing it up, right? Whatever enemy might be too much for you, Geto's there to help ease some of the burden, right? And then you just get hit with like Six Finger Sukuna's like physicality.
Sure.
Out of nowhere.
I mean, I'll put it like this, right? We don't run the same defense you don't justify Naoya's actions by saying he was groomed for that since birth, even though that's very much the case. Because there's an understanding that while that is influential in who you are, your actions are still your actions, right? Now, you can look at any Zenin clan member. All the people that were misogynist and abusive towards Maki, they were brought up in a very a strikingly similar system. But there's a lack of
similar system overall, but like in the context of the clan, the Zenin clan's dynamics are different from the Kamo clans, which is different from the Gojo clans, right? Because for the Gojo clan, for them, it seemed like, all right, who did we win the lottery? Great, we're all gonna fuck off.
No, right? It's not that. I'm saying it's the justification for it. I'm saying like we don't say when we're saying now he is a misogynist, right? You don't say, oh, he was groomed to be a misogynist, and then use it as sort of like a shielding from it, right? It is, yes, that is what molded him in the same way anybody's environment molds somebody, right? But you still have agency to break free of that, because Gojo also. Like, let's not pretend that Gojo was just some, like, jujutsu robot. He in a lot of very clear ways, bucked the trend or, like, bucked the status quo whenever he felt like it, right? The thing is is that Gojo lived in a lot of the ways that he wanted to, right? Mm-hmm. Being the strongest has its perks. It has its freedoms. It has all of those things. It grants you the ability to sort of be, at least for a time, an island unto yourself, right? Mm-hmm. It allows you to act selfishly in a way that you don't when you're weaker, right? But I don't think that absolves him of having those like personal shortcomings, right? Because even when having someone that at the time he considered the strongest with him, when that hand was reached out to help, he didn't take it, right? Mm-hmm. And sure, it didn't seem like that big of a deal at the time, but it's a microcosm of like his general attitude towards things in general.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's fair. I would just argue that Gojo's was a bit more peculiar because of what he was, a Six-Eyes Limitless user, and then B, where he was where he was as a teenager with Geto and Jujutsu Tech, right? So from what I gathered, the Zenin clan, for instance, is very insular, right? It doesn't really seem to really cooperate with the school as well as like maybe others do. Like we don't, we haven't seen Naoya in school, for instance, right? We haven't really gotten a version of that, and he's so much older than Maki and Mai that he's just like harassing them basically, right? Mm-hmm. But for Gojo, you got to see him in that era of his life. You got to see him with Geto. You got to see these like essentially rich kid being in the real world moments to like not even humanize, but to like help empathize with him.
I mean, how should I put this? I think. Okay, the reason because I don't disagree with those circumstances kind of like grooming him to be that way. It's just like I saw like Hello, I think, say now his actions are much worse. And I'll say two things. Run, like, yeah, I agree, like directly, but mm-hmm. Two, like the actions of the thing don't really matter. There's no if you're willing to say, I'm not saying this is what you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. I'm making it an easier example to digest. If you're saying, Gojo's just a little guy, he was just influenced by the people around him, and then you turn around and say now is a fucking misogynist, it's like, well, you're being hypocritical, right? They both are only the people that they are because of their environment, as is any person on the planet, right? That's not really what I'm saying, but in every other circumstance, typically, we don't say, like, or we don't add there is still an aspect of, yeah, sure, this molded you to be who you are, but that makes you who you are, right? So if Gojo has a bad personality, yeah, it can be because of his environment. In the same way, Sukuna, as we now know, is the way that he is because of circumstances, right? But I don't see anybody being like, I got to run some defense for Sukuna's choices, right? They're the choices and I get it. People make choices for specific reasons. That's the whole thing that Yuji's getting at, right? That like he has the ability, like he was granted his grandpa, his friends, his allies, right? And that's great. And he wants to extend that hand to other people so that he can bring them up, right? But that does not absolve you or even really justify anything. You don't see somebody being like, I got to run bail or I got to run defense for Sukuna's moral choices. They're the choices you made, right? It sucks that you were in a position to where that's what you feel like you had to do or that's what you chose, but you chose what you chose, right? And that's kind of it, and that's kind of just like the fact of the matter. Like, yeah, Gojo's environment created him. It also created a personality that did not value weak people in essence, that did not accept like people offering him help, did not accept that sort of like he needed other people until that strength demonstrated itself to not be enough. It was only until he was personally affected by it, losing his best friend, lover, however you feel about it, whatever, right? Where he's like, oh shit, maybe I gotta lock into this people shit, right? Because it's not when Rico dies, right? It's not when Rico, it's not death. It's not something bad happening. It's not when he gets his ass kicked. It's when he's personally affected by his own actions in which he understands and is able to, on a deeper level, empathize with like I can't do everything by myself. Right? And yeah, that's what I'll say.
I mean, that's fair. I think the reason I was I wanted to give some pause was because like the context, like they were raised in the same like world, I guess, but not really the same street. So there's like a hesitation for me in that, like, okay, Naoya was partially inspired by like the Gojo and the Tojis, right? Because he was born later, right? He also wasn't the chosen one as far as like Jujutsu society was concerned. You could argue he was the chosen one, like he was the favorite to take on the Zenin clan after Mahito died. But you're right. His misogyny, his like, you know, worser quirks are all him. So my whole thing is just, I feel like Gojo's context more informed how he was unconsciously than overtly, right? Like Naoya's misogyny is like an active, because he can just like, he actively practiced it, if that makes sense, right? Like he was a devout misogynist, you know, every Sunday he was there, you know, 7 a.m., right? He was paying his dues. But for Gojo, the reason, for instance, he didn't ask about like how Geto was feeling or mention like the losing weight, really, the summer heat thing, it wasn't because he was a dick. He just did. It was a foreign experience, right? Like it wasn't a thing he was doing to be malicious or a thing he was practicing because like it was a habit. He just didn't. It was a blind spot.
Okay, and let's say it is, right. What is the rejection of Geto's help then mean to you? Because that's an active reaching out and moving the hand away, of being like, I appreciate it, but I don't want it, right?
Okay, sure, right. You could argue that like maybe he just like, it's not even him trying to act tough, but it's like, I mean, nah, I'm fine. Like, just kind of a dismissive, like, why wouldn't I be? I have the 6 eyes. I have the limitless. Like, to me, it informs his like unconscious actions more than his conscious ones, because his conscious actions, for example, like what I would consider that would be like the decision to not kill the higher ups earlier, right? Like that is something he has sat down, thought about, contemplated, and like decided not to do, right? Like that is a more active decision based on like who he is, his strength, blah, 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 right? But for something like that, and for something like the not noticing, that falls under a different category to me. Of like,
okay. I mean,
yeah,
I think the reason I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I think you're shooting. And everybody's gonna. I think everybody keeps in chat missing the forest for the trees and the comparison. The reason I'm comparing Gojo to Naoya is because I know you guys have a immediate knee-jerk reaction to Naoya that you don't have for Gojo, because Gojo is not framed in a super negative light. But a lot of his actions have larger, overarching, more negative effects than anything Naoya could have created with his misogyny, right? You know, hot take, whatever. But it's simply to say, and that's not to say Gojo is he's not, I'm not saying he's evil, right? I'm just saying he's a flawed character, and those flaws, because of how important he is, are highlighted at like the worst times. So, for example, right, I think the reason, like you say like now he's an active practitioner of misogyny, right? And that comes from like base assumptions of things to be true, right? You're raised as, you know, women walk 3 steps behind men, right? That becomes like axiomatic. It's like you breathe air because you need air to breathe, right? It's something that is, you know, and then it becomes something that like you don't even, it's not given any thought, right? Now you actively practices it in the same way I think Gojo actively practices his sort of like lonely behavior. I think Sukuna actually brings up, crazy to reference Sukuna here, brings up a really good point when Kashima's asking him about connection, where he calls him greedy, right? And I think Sukuna is getting at like, it is so insane of y'all to enjoy the fruits of strength, of absolute like power and domination, while also asking for the understanding that does not come naturally with it, right? And I think that kind of like, that's where a lot of a lot of Gojo's lamentation comes from, of like, the, you know, he's having fun when he's kicking Jogo shit in, or he's kicking the clone guy shit in, or whatever, right? That is the fruits of his labor and his isolationist mentality showing up. But then it's like, yeah, man, the other shoes gotta fall. Like when you have a mentality in which you actively are like, okay, I have to close myself off. Everybody's everybody's weaker, everybody's blah, blah, blah around me. I can't fight with other people. Those things are decisions. And yes, they're decisions that, based on what we know, are true. But we also know Jujutsu is kind of an interpretation-based thing, right? Mm-hmm. If Gojo can do whatever the fuck he wants, I've actually pushed back to the idea before, but in having this conversation, why is it impossible for someone that talented to be able to fight alongside other people, right? Like,
I was thinking about that, yeah.
I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? He's convinced of something being the case. And it's not to say he intentionally keeps people out, but he does not make an effort to bring people in, and that is it results in the same thing, right? If you recognize an issue, right, you say, I'm lonely, I don't have friends, that you not going out and changing that results in the same thing as you actively pushing people away. They result in the exact same conclusion, you being isolated at the end of it all, right? And you can't complain about it because Gojo recognized the issue. It's not that like Gojo is entirely ignorant to this fact. He knows it, understands his flaws, and just kind of acknowledges that and gets his simple pleasures where he can in fighting Sukuna, right? In fighting in enjoying himself in the simple pleasures where he's like next. Like, he clearly loves Jujutsu, right? He loves that strength that comes with it, the freedom that comes with it, that weaker characters cannot relate to, right? A thrill of fighting that you can see in characters like Ishigori, Kashima, Sukuna, or whatever, right? But he also wants something more. That continuous greed seems to be like his pitfall, and that's where I think his bad personality really shows itself, because he's not willing to, when it comes to Jujutsu, he'll pour everything into it, right? But when those connections, suddenly all that talent, suddenly all that effort shrivels up. Why is that, right? And I think it's because he's just not willing to. And that's fine. That's okay. Like, you don't have to be willing to be loved by everybody, right? But it's a choice. It's something he's choosing to not participate in.
It's not even that I disagree. It's more like I don't want to not frame his choice. Okay, his choice isn't really made in a vacuum, right? It's not really an active choice. It's more like it is informed by his blind spots, right? It is informed by something like, what's that line from Hunter x Hunter? A bias so slight it can't even really be called a weakness. But this is just a weakness, right? But I think it's a bias. That's really what it is, right? He biases towards solitude. He biases towards like carrying the burden. He biases towards like assuming he is the best, right? It's not something he does out of malice. It's not something he really does out of ego. It is a two-factor thing, right? It is simultaneously the way he was raised, right? But then you could say, oh, but the Choji thing should have checked him, right? Reframed his perspective a little bit. Sure. But then he got even stronger, right? And since then, he's been, he's resumed his streak, but like even more. And you're at a point now where you're stronger than ever, but you're lonelier than ever. And the only thing that you can be confident in is your strength. So why deviate from the only thing that seems to be like working for you, right? Like I don't think the
asset of other characters. And I think that's why he asks that very thing of other characters. He asks it of Megami. He's a great example, right? Like, deviating from his explicit nature is something that he's like, yo, Megami, be greedier, right? Like, sacrificing yourself, all this bullshit. Nah, it doesn't look. That's not a good color on you, gang. Like, I think part of it can be attributed to ignorance, can be attributed to bias, but I also think there's an aspect of it that is it's a benefit. There is a benefit to it, because having that gives him an identity that may not be as easily acquired in other ways, right? If nothing else, Gojo Satoru is the strongest sort of deal, right? You can lean into that, right? You can. Okay, let me put it like this, right? Let me use myself as an example. Actually, I'm the JJK guy, right?
Okay,
whatever, right? That is something that I kind of like. I did actively, but I fell into, and I was like, kind of realized I was there, right? Now, not taking active steps to change that is a choice, right? I am choosing to walk the same path I have always walked, right? Every step, every day, every dialogue option, every, written word, every fight in Gojo's case, right, is a choice. You're choosing to do this. It's not something that it doesn't necessarily feel like a crossroads. It doesn't feel like a momentous occasion. It doesn't feel like you're in front of the KFC talking to your boyfriend, right? But every time you indulge in the same action you did before, you chose that action again. And you keep choosing it, and you keep choosing it until you turn around and you see that you've taken a million steps in one direction when you could have just taken one to the left and gone in an entirely different way. Those two paths Sukuna was talking about, I'm sure that at some point it felt like he couldn't turn back. But that, in and of itself, too, is a choice. And it's one that is made partially because he likes what he's doing, and I think in Gojo's case, there's also that aspect. But it can also be one that comes from a fear, a worry, an insecurity, or a self-assuredness that you're not willing to give up. Right? There's a certainty that comes with being something that goes away when you decide to cast aside that identity. Right? And I think that Gojo understood that and wanted to foster that sort of courage in the kids that he trusted, and also knew that he wasn't willing to give that up. He wasn't willing to do that, but he did recognize that it was a problem. Because I think if he didn't recognize it as an issue, wasn't able to see through the fog, see through the genjutsu, he wouldn't have been an adequate teacher to Yuji specifically, right? He wouldn't have been able to acknowledge the faults in his ideology and saying, don't be like me. Because if it was something that he didn't see as wrong, being like him wouldn't be an issue. I think acknowledging that being like him, whether that result in being the strongest or whatever, is not the end goal, is an acknowledgement of wrong choices compounding over time and resulting in it, right? And I think it's actually a common theme for a lot of JJK characters. I think Toji is another example of that. I think Sukuna is obviously another example of that, right? And I think these characters sort of end up displeased despite their strength and despite their freedom, all because they realized they wanted to change at a certain point. They wanted something else, but they were too scared, too worried, too ignorant, too egotistical, too whatever, too vengeful, right? To turn around and discard something of theirs, right? Get rid of something, be a little bit less greedy in order to go get that, right?
Right. So,
and I think that is not something born of ignorance, but of fear or of a desire to cling on to what you already know.
So you can argue then that Gojo he's still, to quote Sukuna, being greedy because he will simultaneously recognize the problem, right? I'll give you that, right? He's actively recognizing that he's not living the most lavish, lifestyle, right? This is not an enviable path to follow. So he wants to protect the next generation from going through what he went through, right? But it doesn't really change his current material conditions, right? He's still friendless for people his own age, right? He is still pretty much carrying the world on his shoulders, even in the context of this flashback with Yuji. That's him, bro. He's first up in line. It is kind of all on his shoulders, despite what he's preaching, right? So, in a way, Gojo is doing the best he can to compromise on two things, right? His idealized reality and his current present situation. So yes, he wants to make the choice to be better and to fix these mistakes that he's recognized he's made, right? But he recognized them too late. Sukuna's free, Kenjaku's calling games are happening. You gotta just hold that, right? So the most he can do with the time and context that he's got left is just to kind of inspire them to, hopefully, if they survive, for all he knows, right, to be better than he was, right? So he did recognize it. He did have that change. He did have that moment. In the end, he just couldn't. He just had it at a very inconvenient time, right? So you could argue maybe prior to, let's say, Prison Realm as his nexus point or whatever, right? Yes, I think that was just where bias, the way he was raised, blah blah blah. I think that's where it kind of stopped for me, because that Prison Realm time gave him time to think, to mull over and to really reflect on everything that's happened and how he got here, right? Because when he got out of the prison realm, he was locked in, right? With finding Kenjaku, with fighting Sukuna, with everything. This was kind of it, you know? Like, I think Gojo resolved, I said it as a joke earlier, but I think Gojo's resolve wasn't necessarily to just kill Sukuna, but I think it was maybe to just, something's got to give, right? I can't keep going like this, but I can't let Sukuna go free either, right? That's the material like situation that they were in at the time. So if I win, great, right? But if I lose, I hope I inspired them to like take on from me because I'm tired, right? So I think there is, up to a certain point in Gojo's journey that we've seen, that bias stops and it becomes active choice after the prison realm. But I think prior to that, he was just kind of living, day to day, going through the motions, like not really aware or unwilling to confront those feelings and ideas until he was forced to.
Okay, let me ask you this: What do you think? What do you think the acknowledgement of his dream is then? Like in the beginning of the story.
Say it again.
I said, what do you think the acknowledgement of his dream is? Like, for example, when he's talking about wanting to foster a new generation, right? Like very early on, like pre-prison realm, all that stuff, right? Even talking to Yaga about like, I understand that, if you want to help someone, they have to be willing to help themselves, right? Like all of those realizations happened relatively early in his life in the grand scheme of things. And it's not to say that Gojo is like some wholly flawed, like just I think of a character, right? It's more so that I think he understands certain things. It's like
okay, my exception to that would just be, well, I don't think he was necessarily speaking about the urgency of holding, Jujutsu society as a whole, like from Sukuna. I think it was more about like the Haibara ghetto thing, right? Where sorcerers go out pretty young and they go out, weaker, right? So for Gojo, strong and intelligent is kind of, they're both important, right? So they have to be strong so they don't die to like grade 3 curses, and they have to be intelligent and like with each other so they keep each other alive. So I think for Gojo, it's like it's a very practical matter to be like, all right, these kids are not as strong as me or whatever, for right now, right? Like assuming forward thinking, like they have the potential to surpass me one day, blah blah blah, right? But like in the moment, they're not as strong as me, so all they have is each other. So let me, kind of impart them with the knowledge that like they need each other, right? They need to be strong individually and as a team, because they're not me. So I think he was still motivated by that unconscious bias, even in his like benevolent thinking or whatever you want to call it, right? And I think that's like the perspective shift I'm talking about with Prison Realm. He got out of the headspace of like, they have to be like me, or they because they're not me, they can't survive unless they have each other, right? I think it is then like, no, bro, they just can't be like me, right? They'll survive and they'll be strong and they won't be like me. Like that's what I think the perspective shift is.
I don't know because I feel like,
because like before you could argue like his perspective was anybody who's not me is just weak, right? Like for better or for worse. For people he was fighting, you're too weak, L, hold that, right? See you in the next life, whatever. But for people who he was fond of or he was on the side of, it was like, yay, another cross to bear. What if I make you self-sufficient? And that's what I think he was like working his way out of.
But I think what he says to Yaga is contradictory to that. It's not enough to be strong, right? Like acknowledging that what he has right now is not the answer, right? And like, let me see if I can find it specifically. But like, I feel like that acknowledgement of strength not being adequate is Gojo living in that contradiction, right? It's not to say Gojo did not still make the decision because he believed it best for himself. It's to say that like he kind of understood the hypocrisy that he lived in and decided that it was fine. It was the practical decision, or the one that was like assured, I guess. Like it is it's the stay the JJK guy so you feed yourself decision, right? But that doesn't mean that you don't know the other doors there. You're scared to take it, right? And I think that's what it is. And he's pushing his students to what he sees as like the idealized version of sorcery, of like existing with other people and all of that stuff, like something that he aims for, right? Something that he like, even Yudo, you could say is probably his most promising prospect. Is like it's something that he kind of like primes them all for. And I think he could realize, I think the extent to which he was fucked could have become clear after getting sealed away, right? I wouldn't say that that's not the case, that a sense of urgency hasn't been increased, but I think that knowledge has always been there, or not even always been there. Always been there is a little. I think post Geto leaving, there was an acknowledgement of something wrong. Like, he was strong, right? He was the strongest. Why the fuck did this happen? Geto is his friend. Like, why the fuck did this happen? Why is he walking away from him? And why is that strength not enough to resolve the issue in a nice, neat little bow, right?
But I don't think Gojo is mature enough to ask those questions in that context. Like, that's what I'm talking about when I say it's a bias, right? Because like a choice is almost too intentional, and it requires a lot of knowledge on his part, or just awareness, right? So with his thing with Geto, like you just said, right? I don't think it's a choice he made. I don't think it's a thing he's thinking about in that context. It's the framework he's always operating under, right? Like, he filters every decision he makes, every action, every thought through the "I'm the strongest," blah, blah, blah filter. Like, it is a thing that motivates his actions without his like real direct knowledge, if that makes sense, right? It's not until he's like forced to take a step back and like stop that he's realizing, oh my god, the strength is like part of it, right? It is the thing that influences the thing. So
sure, right?
Like, that's what I mean, right? That's why I like hesitate on saying it's like completely a choice, because like for Gojo, it's like, okay, crazy comparison, right? For Homelander, it's like, okay, this is a test tube baby with like Superman powers, right? The bias, like the reason he's like this, right, is because he grew up in a lab, right? Like the fact that he's just like able to even fake it is already kind of a miracle. So for Gojo, you're talking about like a metaphorical like it's like bubble that he was in.
Lab baby.
Yeah. Right. So for me, it's like, okay, he is not going to be aware of these things because he was robbed of the context of being in them, right? So for Geto, it was the first time he had a friend like that to begin with, period, full blank, right? He didn't have the opportunity to like make mistakes before. He didn't have the opportunity to like explore these new emotions and these new feelings. And it was also the first time that he had like surpassed someone that was relative to him, right? These were all new things that he just could not comprehend as like new experiences, essentially, right? For him, he was going with the flow because like that's always like what he was on, right? It's the fucking wheel. So Geto's like departure is so jarring to him because from his perspective, nothing has changed, right? It's not that he was stronger than Geto. It wasn't even like why would anything change? Why would that factor in?
Oh, and I hope it doesn't come across that I necessarily disagree with that. I guess to your Homelander point, it's more so that I would say no one would ever say or add a caveat to saying Homelander has a shitty personality. No, right? Yeah. You would say Homelander has a shitty personality, and here's why, right? And that's and I'm not saying Gojo is Homelander. Like, before anybody fucking gets their panties in a twist, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Gojo has a like he has a bad personality, right? Yeah. Not a Homelander level bad, but he has a bad personality for like for good reason, or for at least like humanizing reasons. But it then informs the decisions that he makes, which are like they're tinted, right? They're tinted in his worldview, in his upbringing, in the same way everybody else's is, right? But it still ends up like it's the filter, and he still is the vessel for those actions, right? In which case, I'm like, I think we mostly agree. It's not like I'm not like
like I don't think it's a confrontational disagreement, right? I think like the particularities maybe in the finer details are what might be might be causing some friction here, because it's not like I want to rob Gojo of agency, but I just think like the framework with which we make decisions is a huge part of it, and I don't think he was aware of that framework until after the prison realm, right? So he was still making choices that were, from his perspective, informed, calculated choices, but he just wasn't aware that he was adding that step in between until after he had like time to think about it. That's
grown man, by the way. Nah, I'm messing with you. Grown man, by the way. Nah. Broken. What the fuck did I say? What the fuck? Why am I getting misogyny allegations? Bro, have I even mentioned Maki's name this entire? What the fuck?
Yeah, no. Liv kind of snitching, but
Liv putting in crazy anti PR. Like oh my fucking god, dude, that's crazy. No, yeah. But I mean, yeah. Like I largely don't disagree. I don't think it's easy to get out of a bad personality if even you don't acknowledge it. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think that it is. It's just that, like,
I mean, hey, bro, I have trouble with that as a real human being.
Yeah. I just think Gojo had like mile markers along the way that, like, if he were okay, here is, I think, and this will be my last point, right? I think if Gojo was actively looking to make those improvements, there were multiple instances in which he could have. Is that something that we can, like, that he was not actively looking to improve himself in that way? Like,
himself? Okay, this is gonna sound crazy, right? From Gojo's perspective, and this is the framework, right? What is there to improve on? Right? Because, okay, from like Prison Realm Gojo, whatever, right? He is not the problem. Like, it is he is strength is him, Gojo, because strong, quote, insert here, right? So for him, it's not that he's the problem, it's more like, what is other people's problem with him, right? Like slight, it's a slight difference, but it's huge for, like, explaining this bias, right? So with Geto, it's not, not necessarily like how did I fail Geto? It was more like,
how did Geto fail?
How did Geto fail and I missed it?
Well, I guess I'll ask you this, right? Do you think Gojo acknowledged himself that he was lonely? Like, do you think he knew or felt
I don't think he knew until the Prison Realm. Like, because I think Gojo kept distracting himself, and maybe not totally intentionally, with missions, and he kept getting sent out on missions and training students. Like, it was a nonstop thing, right? Like, Yuta and Yuji was back to back for him, like, year-wise. And for the most part, by the way, this is like crazy perspective here, just to like blow your mind, right? Geto died recently for him, so for a lot of that Geto was alive. So he never got a chance to confront those feelings, to confront, like, really Geto's death. So it's been go, because after Geto died, Jujutsu Satan came back. That's my top. You know what I mean?
I don't know how much. Okay, I'll say this: when other people mourn the death of people very close to them and compartmentalize sorcerers, much better. Like, Yuji does it with Nanami over one pep talk, and it's like,
so one, Yuji's just better at that. Like he's dealt with that more often. Like, he represents that aspect of the human condition, right? Like that's why he operates like that, right? But for Gojo, Geto was the only one that even made it onto his list, right? Like, ever. So for him, it was a brand new, even fresher experience. So, like, even for Rico, it was like I'm sorry, Rico, I don't mourn for you right now. You know what I mean? Like, for Gojo, it wasn't until he was 28 years old that he, like, first had this experience with, like, Geto's, death and him being the cause of, like that was a fresh wound, right? And he never got the chance to confront it, because afterwards, like I said, the whole thing with Yuji and Sukuna happened. And the reason that's important is because, like, to use your Naoya point, right? The reason it's not a one-to-one comparison is because of, like, Gojo's test tube-ness. We'll call that for shorthand, right? Naoya, he's not the one that has to directly deal with that. Gojo stuck his neck out. He's the one that's, like, monitoring it. Megumi is his student. Yuji is, like, his student. Like, he is not only an active teacher, but he is the strongest. So if anything happens vis-a-vis Sukuna, it's not only the burden falling on him as the person who spared Yuji's life, but also as the strongest sorcerer to take care of it if something does happen. So there's just a lot more directly on his shoulders with that than there is like Naoya or really any other sorcerer, even other special grade sorcerers like Yuki's unemployed ass.
W slipping in slander.
Yeah. But that's what I mean.
So it's not necessarily that I don't think he had. I'm not ignoring the fact that like his time to grieve Geto was brief, to say the least, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's more so to say that is a sorcerer's condition, right? It's not something unique to Gojo. It's not something unique to like any particular sorcerer, no matter the strength, in my mind, right? Like being able to like, it's not just like not grieving at all, right? Because Yuji, obviously, despite how well he is at handling that, acknowledging what someone meant to him and moving forward, like even he has his breaking points, right? It's not to say that like Gojo, I'm not necessarily faulting Gojo for not being the most emotionally intelligent person on the planet. It's more to say that like I think that failing to acknowledge he lost Geto 12 years ago is also part of the problem. Like, dude, he's gone. Like,
dude, okay,
he's not dead,
I'll make it easy, right? Lost. Like you see, like that's what I mean. Like that, it is almost a foreign experience, right? Like lost Geto. Like the strongest sorcerer lost? No, can't be. He's just a little misguided.
Bro, he was drinking his own blood after Toji was done with him round 1, bro. I think, like, I'll put it like this: he even himself acknowledges the last time he lost in a fight was Toji. Right?
Yeah.
Like Gojo recognizes that as like a moment of defeat. So I don't think that he's incapable of acknowledging like losing. I think it's more so there is no okay.
I think it's about giving up hope, right? Like for it's a much more like ethereal, like philosophical kind of loss. So I think for Gojo, right, there's just an obstacle there because again, first time period in this situation, right, of any kind for somebody he cares this much about. But if you want to really like split hairs here, you can also argue the reason Gojo never really took Geto's thing too seriously as a loss is because, well, like if Geto ever gets really out of hand, I could just end it. Like, for Gojo's perspective, I don't think he ever took Geto's departure totally seriously until, like, JJK 0. Because it's sort of like, why would I kill my best friend for something he can't really act on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean...
Like, I'm here.
I think...
So
I think practically sure was he worried about like Geto,
but that's what I mean.
Doing anything he couldn't reverse, right? But I think there's that's kind of what I'm talking about. If Gojo only acknowledging that he feels some type of way about best friend, lover, whatever, right, leaving, and only filtering it through a lens of practicality, like we agree he felt very intense emotions when Geto left, right?
Yes.
Not okay. Choosing to repress those, right? And explore only practical solutions rather than dealing with like moving on or anything. Even if it's not moving on, having hope, whatever, right? Only compartmentalizing the threat or the purpose of Geto leaving as can I handle it or can I not is Gojo dehumanizing himself,
yes,
right?
It's a bias. It's part of
but what I'm saying is like it's like, how is that different for Gojo in the way it is for anybody else on the planet, right?
Okay, because they don't have it is a super specific expression of it, right? It's not that other characters don't have it. It's just that they express it differently and through different ways, right? For example, like, I'm going to use Naya's misogyny, fuck it, right? Like, that slot in Gojo's brain of, like, I am the strongest, this is my filter. For Naya, it's like, I am head man of Zenin clan, right? So... For him, it's like it flares up with women, especially, right? But even with like his uncles, you know, like the demeanor he takes, like the way he treats them is like specific, you know, to that context, right? The way he moves about like hunting for Megami and shit after finding out he's gonna be the new head is like within that context, right? Because his like power and expression and like whatever is being challenged. So for Gojo, it is the same like expression, but just through a different framework, right? For Gojo, it's not as desperate, it's not as visceral because it's uniquely suited to him, right? It is a weird fringe filter that no other character has, right? That's why I have a hard time like generalizing with Gojo, because like I said, test tube baby, what like exceptional scenario that he's in, right? No other character besides like Sukuna, right, has the benefit of like moving like that. But you could argue even for Sukuna, either through experience, through like looking the way he did, like through whatever, right? Kind of wish Gege gave me more examples to list off, but that's we'll put that aside, right? Mm-hmm. He moves differently, right? Kashimo is closer in a way. Like you filter it all through your strength and you move about it in that way. So for Naoya, through his misogyny, even when he reincarnated as a vengeful spirit, he was back on business, right? Just as I'm sure, like, you know, had Gojo been killed and like been a vengeful spirit, you know, pre-prison realm, I'm sure it would have been like, I'm the strongest, right? Like there would have been something lingering there. And I think the framework exists because it's not really something that Gojo can help, because it's always on. You know, metaphor, like his infinity, his perception of himself being the strongest is always on.
Okay, let's take that infinity metaphor, because I do think Gege uses like specifically infinity, but limitless in general, but specifically infinity to kind of like tailor that to detail a lot of his character arc, right? Gojo will say automating, there we go. Automating the limitless so that it's always on is, I think, a very good it is a very good way to understand the way in which he went about protecting himself post Toji encounter, right? I think shutting himself off, because like, okay, once again, right, it's a filter that he alone exists in, right? But I think individuals will always have individual filters in which like only they can truly understand, at least from experientially, right? Gojo so happens to be in one that has a lot of we'll say worldly importance, but it's not unique in the sense that only, okay, let me rephrase. It's not unique in the sense that only Gojo's context exists unto only him, right? I think everybody's context is sort of unique in a way that cannot truly be identified with by another character, at least like in JJK. But I think automating Limitless, right, and keeping that up, and like always having that barrier between him and other people is something that, while became automated, is something that wasn't always that way, right? It didn't always have to be the case. And I think in acknowledging that Gojo was able to sort of like bypass the filter that we think like Jujutsu Society put on him, and a lot of the ways that he views people, he views relationship, he views like authority, right? I think it's also like, basically, if we could expect him to buck at authority, right? And because that's also part of it, right? Like that's also, assumably, at least, we don't really see Gojo's like conditioning, right? But assumably that's part of it, that like you listen to the higher ups, right? You listen to those in authority, in positions of power, et cetera, right? But he obviously doesn't have a reverence for them, because Gojo, despite being conditioned a certain way, has a strong personality, right? If he was capable of breaking that filter in that context, right? I'm simply saying that there was those things are very deeply intertwined, right? That listening to authority, that bucking under
let me
under demand is like it's part of the same being raised as the strongest in Jujutsu Society context.
So I could explain it. I could actually hold on. I have a perfect response. Okay. So I'm gonna use the higher ups as an instance, right? So a lot of what Gojo was saying and feeling with the higher ups was kind of to me, kind of bluster on his part, because I don't think Gojo necessarily was ever going to challenge their authority, because like, you know, he talks about, you know, people being, you know, fearful or whatever of him actually taking those steps and not wanting to follow like a murder or whatever. couple things. First, random take, unrelated to my point. I just want to throw it out there. Geto got followers by doing worse shit. I just want to say, like, low-key, bro, you got the blueprint, lock in. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, like, with the higher-ups, right? He tolerates them because he, again, bias or not, believes in some kind of structure and authority, right? He kind of buys into the system is good, right? On some level, right? Because maybe, consciously or unconsciously, right, throughout, his own moral thing about, like, wanting people to enjoy their youth, blah, 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 he's still a jujutsu sorcerer, and he still exists within that, space, right? The three great clans, all this shit, right? It's not until Prison Realm, and I guess, like, the Clone Games more broadly, where he sees that, like, it kind of got them in ruin, that Gojo off screen kills the higher ups, right? Like, this is a thing he had been agonizing over since he became the strongest, right? Since so many sorcerers have died, presumably, since, like, all this shit has happened. And it's not until, like, it gets to a level where Gojo is sealed, he finds out about all the shit that happened, like, after he was sealed with the higher ups, that it's an off-screen decision, right? It's something he doesn't even have to think about, right? It's something that we don't even need to bother to see, because he's just like, all right, that's it. Like, this proof of concept didn't work. So for me, like, that represents the perspective shift that I'm talking about, right? Like, previous framework is like they still need to exist in some capacity in my idealized vision of the future, right? But afterwards, he's like, fuck it. Like, they were doing more harm than good.
Let me use your point, right? Mm-hmm. In that instance, right, where you think Gojo kind of has had this realization, Yuta, because it's off screen in the sense that we don't see it when it happens, we go back to it. But Yuta and Maki and Panda and Inumaki are like, don't be a monster alone, right? Yeah. And even in the moment where you're basically saying, like, he is probably closest to acknowledging all of that, he still can't relinquish a sort of, whatever you want to call it, because the emotion is very complex. Like, you can call it pride, fear, I think a lot of it is resignment to a path.
Sure. The reason I make an exception for that is because I think we don't have to get, like, too fucking philosophical here. I think he just doesn't want his, like, 15-year-old students to watch him, like, do that. Like, I genuinely think that's where it starts and stops.
Maki fucking killed 30 people. Like, bare hand, ripped out throats, man. Gojo don't give a fuck.
He didn't see that shit.
Oh my god, bro. He didn't see it. This is why Gege be pissing me off, bro. Because now I don't know how Gege reacted to seeing Maki with short hair, scars, and the vibes of Toji.
And this is what I'm talking about. Because I have a similar problem, right? But, like, needless to say, right? Jokes aside, this I think Gojo's, like, bias being shifted and all this shit is happening in the background. It's just Gege is such an asshole that he keeps writing it in, like, 8 layers of subtext, like he's fucking Kubo. And aside from getting mad at that audacity, sorry, just kind of still crazy. Gege, like, taking one foot off the pedal and deciding to, like, crash out in the last section of JJK aside. I think, like, it's still there. The signs of it are still definitely there. That's all I'm saying. Like I think the shift is there. It's subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, I agree that there's a greater sense of urgency for sure.
But, like, we can both agree that Gege kind of fucked our respective points.
I do agree. because whatever, Gege, fine. Jesus Christ.
Kubo wouldn't do this to us, by the way, or Oda, or Kishimoto, like.
Oda is crazy, bro.
Or Togashi.
All right, fuck. We've spent like 2 hours talking about the fucking Gojo and Yuji section, but needless to say, pretty thought-provoking.
Yeah, pretty thought. Also, us not yelling at each other.
W, bro.
Rare.
Let's talk about the less interesting part. The first half, the first third, the first 2/3. Sorry.
It was cool, showing us, like, a nice little callback about the cycle kind of continuing, but also breaking with, like, it was more like I hope you get better. Yuji is the new spiritual Gojo philosophy shift. Sorry, bro. I kind of gassed out on
no, you're good. You're good. I like Yuji. I don't know. I'm expecting great things from you. I don't know why Yuji saying it feels a little bit more genuine than Kinjaku and even Gojo. Like Gojo obviously means it as well, but maybe it's just because Yuji's just such like a nice looking guy.
Yeah, like pretty earnest. Like I think he just means that shit. Also, I think the person he's talking to does not have potential like that.
It doesn't have to come from strength. Yeah, that's a really good point. I fuck with that. That's really the only part of it I fuck with though. Everything else is kind of like whatever.
Right, yeah.
The color page was nice, but I really didn't rock with the first 2/3 of the chapter.
Saw Nanami sneak his ass on there, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, bro. Now what up?
I was gonna ask about the last panel. What was your interpretation of it?
Initially, I thought it was just some cyclical bullshit, but given the context of Sukuna deciding a different path, and someone pointed out that like it's daytime, the door's open on its own, and it's unsealed, all of those things being different context to how it was initially, that like it's a sign Sukuna chose a different path. I fuck with that idea that like the finger being presented differently means itself that like Sukuna is not the malevolent force he was portrayed as before.
Did you? I guess what did you think about? Okay, I don't think so, but I'm curious what you think. Do you think it was Sukuna character assassination?
No, because here's the thing, right? What? I'm sorry, I didn't. Sukuna character assassination? How
like,
so?
Oh, like the I don't agree with it. Yeah, just it's like the whole supposed to be pure force of pure evil, not Kurama. No redeeming qualities, blah blah blah, demon lord, like one of those. And
as soon as he was like, his philosophy is just based on strength, right? He's been winning, so it's true. He lost, so it couldn't have been true.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's a natural thing. And then Yuji also being empathetic in the end probably was the thing that. Here's the thing: he's not like I want to be a good guy, right? I think he just wants to be like he's choosing to be human, right? I think like it's not even to say like, oh my god, Sukuna is now like some like paragon of goodness. Like it's just like. He's just choosing humanity. He's choosing relationships and connection, which is like fine.
He's like
it's.
I was like, in this next run, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Curious to see what Sukuna reincarnated is like, because I don't know if it's like a thing with Sukuna's bloodline, but like, bro, he and his brother are like.
He's got some strong genes. Fuck. They also freaky as hell. I have a question for you.
What's up?
I saw people getting mad, and then I want to get into like. Maybe one last part of the JJK discussion, but I saw people getting mad about like interpretation that Sukuna kind of came off to me paternally towards Arame when they were walking off. Now I could be wrong. Did you get that vibe, or did you get any vibe from that?
Like paternally,
like protective kind of like I don't know. That's what I got. Like I wasn't even. That's just the vibe I saw.
It's hard to conceptualize Sukuna feeling love of any kind, so it's kind of a new one for me. Kind of threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
It's more that I don't understand. Okay, let me pull up the panel real quick, right? Because the part that freaked me out about that was like Arame coming back in like kid form.
Right? At least seemingly younger. Like
because like Arame's an adult. Like so the reason I'm not standing on it is because like okay, paternal is safe. It's a safe answer, right? The unsafe answer is that it was not paternal.
Yeah, so basically I saw someone make the take that it was paternal, right? And then I saw people getting like pissed, like, oh my god, you only think that because of the height difference. And I'm like, but like
Arame's visibly younger. Like did you not
Arame looks younger as far as I'm concerned. And also it's like I don't know, there are more intimate ways to depict a connection than like hand on the shoulder, hold your hand as we walk off. I'm just saying like it I'm not dying on the hill. Oh, it has to be this, but that's just the vibe I got, right?
Because I think
if you split it into two paths, right, and you look at them as two different ones, you can maybe like it could be romantic love and sort of like that protective.
I got
whatever.
it right. Maximum technique, charitability. Real quick.
Okay.
Right. Arame is technically a reincarnated sorcerer, so maybe the version we've been seeing is just the vessel, like the body, and maybe this is Arame's original adult form. My technique burnt out. That's all I got.
Then again, I think Sukuna said that basically every other incarnated sorcerer fully incarnated. But regardless, right?
I tried my best.
Yeah,
bro.
no. I'll grant. It's just like it's still the like. I don't know. What are we like? I guess that could be true, right? I'm not saying it's not. It's just like we've also seen Arame in the Heian era. Yeah. And Arame struck me as a little bit older, but I don't know. I could be tripping.
Yeah.
To me, Arame looks like someone's a crying child. Like it looks like Sukuna is comforting.
Like them. I'm choosing paternal. Like it's safe. Yeah. I can stand on it a lot more comfortably than the other one.
Yeah. So I'm seeing.
Yeah. Speaking of Arame, who was the other woman? Yorozu?
I thought Yorozu because of the side hair swoops.
Yeah.
But then I thought we've never seen Yorozu wear
clothed.
A fit.
Oh, yeah. Nice, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, also gonna be honest, Sukuna seemed to be like with Arame, there was an obvious connection there, right? Even him not killing Arame meant he kind of cared to some extent, right? Arame was surviving. Yorozu, Kenjaku kind of implies like, oh, you've thought she was annoying forever, right? Now that maybe could she like scratched at something that he truly felt. But someone also said, like, maybe his mom, right? The cursed mother who spat this motherfucker out. But I don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah, I could see the mom because that's the one he went with, right? That was like the implication. So I could see him because then the next one is like his organs, and he's talking about like the immolation, whatever. I assume of eating his twin. By the way, this panel, just unrelated, cooked the translators. Like, fuck, dude. But I had to vomit out the curse writhing in my entrails. I was afraid of immolation by my own curse. And what was the fan scans? It was like way more.
And yet I couldn't help but spit out the curses stirring deep within my viscera. I feared my own curse would immolate me.
Like, fuck, bro. Why?
Okay. Yeah. He also said he was an unwanted child, so was he even loved? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not be able to tell you.
Yeah. So very.
I'm not be able to tell you.
Would love to tell you. Kind of wish KK. Whatever. We already said that.
It's all good, man. It's all good. That's mystery and shit.
Whatever.
Gege really just gave us an ambiguous woman and said make do. Gege.
Love to see it.
But
bro,
okay.
That third data book filling in all these gaps is gonna go crazy in 3 years.
Yes, sir. 3 years is so generous, bro. We're getting that translated in 5. All right, bro. It's time to pop the question. What's JJK's score, gang?
Fun hypothetical, 5 seconds. What do you think happens if you eat this last Sukuna finger?
You're about to get a very cuddly, friendly guy.
Oh, fuck, bro. Like, I don't know why Yuji just doesn't eat it and call it a day, but all right.
Yeah.
Hey, little guy. Your uncle's going to take you out to play some catch.
Yeah. Hey, your dismantle's kind of ass. Let me help you fix that a little bit. Funny.
I couldn't see a chibi Sukuna. Bro, like fucking Leap from Black Clover.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. Okay, let's see. So my final score for JJK. Solid 8. Solid 8. Per that 0.5 is a huge personal significance bump. Otherwise it'd be a 7.5.
Okay. Give me some context for what a 7.5, 8 looks like to you, bro. Like I want some other series in that category, just so I can really get the
7.5, 8. Okay. Fuck. I think I have an Annie. Yeah. Okay. I haven't whipped this out in a while.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let me give you right now. That's manga.
Did you ever talk about Mahito? Yes, I did.
Yeah. I had originally had it as a 10. That's so funny. Like for example, I had My Hero Academia at around a 7.5.
Okay.
I liked it. Let's say a 7. I'm more firm on a 7. I have Chainsaw Man at around an 8.
Okay.
So about yeah, like I'd actually drop Chainsaw Man into 7.5. So that's why I think JJK is like a firm 8 for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty close. I give it an 8.5. That's about where I have Hell's Paradise. That's about where I have Yu Yu Hakusho, half a score under what I have Bleach. And it is, for personal significance reasons, about half a score for what I have Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter never really angers me in the way JJK does, but I also don't have like the personal like attachment. So it's kind of you gotta kind of take it there. Dragon Ball's an 8 as well. Dragon Ball might be an 8.5 though, low key. But
Dragon Ball, I can't rank it. It's just Dragon Ball. Yeah,
that's fair. But yeah, it's like an 8.5. So it's around the Hunter x Hunter, Hell's Paradise.
Hell's Paradise is a good comparison too. I think what gets me is like maybe the reason I go that 0.5 over is a couple. Okay, I feel as though, personal opinion, standing on my own, you know, this is just me, right? Just to be clear for chat, I'm not happy with the suddenness with which JJK, with which Gege ended JJK. It's something I just kind of keep to myself as like a fan, or I guess like as a you know, person who does this online. But like as for myself, my own personal enjoyment, my own, you know, revisiting of JJK, my relationship with it, right? I'm not thrilled about that. I don't like that these last 5 chapters were just kind of blurted out. I don't like the way that they've been paced. I'm not also really not a fan of like the way Sukuna was kind of like, I like the death, but I don't like the suddenness of the death, if that makes sense. Like the reason my biggest change is always more chapters is because I don't object to any decision he's made. I object to how frequently he's making them and with like what pacing he's making them in. So it actively hinders my enjoyment because I feel like I'm reading a disjointed manga.
Yeah. I hear that.
And there's like a frustration in that because I feel like what's the rush, you know? Like why 271? Like there's no rhyme or reason. There's no but like it's partially that. And that's really it. Like actually no, that's really it. Like I'd probably give it higher if not if not for there being like a 30 plus chapter extension of this story, that would be like a 10 for me.
Yeah.
Like there's just the Snyder cut of JJK would be exceptional. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think what kind of bums me out.
Yeah. I feel that. I don't know, man.
Ooh, feels good to get that out a little bit.
That's good. I
don't want to hate week to week, especially if it's still ongoing, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't really want to hate at all. It's just like a thing that I can really sit down and look at critically after it's done.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's the series I feel like I know the most about analytically, and because I know the most about it analytically, I know what I dislike about it.
Like if we're talking
so like the back of my hand.
Same. Like if we're talking personal significance, this is like top 2, right?
Yeah, it's a very, very high manga.
Yeah, like this would be an 11 out of 10 for me life-wise. Like you guys are here, BR is here, I'm here because of this series. Bro, like Gege has helped me pay my rent.
Yeah, God knows he has mine too.
Like yeah, like next to Hunter x Hunter, it is, to put it bluntly, like part of the reason I am who I am right now.
Yeah.
So my critical score is not a reflection of like my feelings towards the series, if that makes sense. It is a feeling towards the story and just the story. If we're talking about what it means to me, you're talking about arguably like one of my favorite asterisk, you know, because critical score, but like favorite most significant series of all time, if not the most.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, basically the same. Like, I think like in terms of like, I love talking about JJK. I love like a lot of the ideas Gege puts forward and a lot of the characters.
Mm.
Gambling bums aside. But and you were, I remember you were surprised when I said it wasn't in my top 10, like like out of 10, right? Like, and it's kind of always been like that, but I've like, there's a passion that comes from talking about it that it's separated from just like how much I enjoy reading it on a regular basis. I would have loved for it to be 10 out of 10, but I think at a certain point in Shinjuku Shodown was kind of like, I was able to kind of relinquish Gege from the burden of my expectations a little bit of like, you know what, bro, you got that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, I'm trying not to have conflicting feelings, but you know, an 8 and a 10 isn't like crazy far, but it's I still feel like wanting more as a fan, but I'm satisfied as a, you know, creator in person.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me read some of these super chats real quick.
Yeah, we have a lot to catch up on. But bro, isn't it crazy? Like, think about how many people in our lives we wouldn't have met without this series, you know? Like the group chat.
A lot.
A
lot.
Bro, us.
A lot. Yeah. Yeah, done. I feel no need to highlight the importance of JJK in my life, gang. I think I did it, bro. Fucking Jesus. But yeah, let's see. Following up this very serious discussion with a serious super chat, Leviathan thinking the 5. Can talk about imagine a non-racist version of Creams 2, please, just while we're at it, you know?
All right. Okay.
Thank you for those heavy hitting questions. I'll hit up Takaba and see if we can do it. And Sean Solo,
thank you for the 27 or 28. Missed most of the stream, but wanted to say JJK's been a crazy ride with y'all. Appreciate all the Sundays, and I'm excited to see what y'all got in store for the future. Even though JJK is over, at least we still got Kagurabachi. First of all, W, I'm gonna let BR compliment the Kagurabachi thing real quick.
W, Kagurabachi Glaze.
Love to see it. Also, W being the first chat and super chat to mention the podcast's enjoyment without making it seem like the podcast is ending. That apparently has been a parentheses impossible challenge. I don't know why. To reiterate,
podcast has been a fun ride, guys. Thank you. Like, we'll see when the next JJK comes out.
Like, fuck, man. So thanks, Sean. Dota, thank you for the 5. Do you think he doesn't reach out because they're not strong enough, like a rich lonely guy who wants rich friends? In his case, he's scared of loss. They're not strong enough, like a rich lonely guy who wants rich friends. In his case, he's scared of loss. Yes, if I understand your phrasing correctly.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a contributor for sure.
Yeah.
Fergusaur, thank you for being a member for 12 months, a whole year. Appreciate you. Thoughts on Chainsaw Man versus You Gonna Fire? I saw you post about it on Twitter to do the newest chapter. I wanted to hear you talk about it more. I was mainly fucking shitting on Chainsaw Man fans because of some prior Sukuna v Chainsaw Man beef. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying. We were talking about. I think my main thing is this, right? I think people were talking about like Pochita Chainsaw Man as if like he had infinite regen without needing blood, and I was like, bro, he just got fucking cooked by one building like city block bullet, bro. Like, woo, fire arrow about to turn that nigga into some ashes. But if not fire arrow, then just start chanting, twin meteors, falling stars, whatever. Cut that motherfucker in half. Sukuna better. But yeah. Obalak, thank you for the 2. Elaborate on dropping Chainsaw Man down. Get to it, justify yourself, buddy.
Part 2.
Damn.
I mean, just like I'll do a binge read, but
fair enough.
Now, yeah. Angel Alexis, thank you for the 2. Wouldn't have me without JJK, maybe better for you. Nah, bro. Drop the next chapter of the fic right now.
Nah, bro. Low key, one of the few negative things about JJK existing. Nah, plan. Chill out on my goat. Pochita about to lock in. Hey, bro. Why after he gets a fucking a stim pack from his local blood donor, I'm sure.
BR, they were ratioing your ass in the QRTs. Oh yeah, I did see somebody ratio you.
I would never know, bro. Whenever I put out something that's controversial, that shit goes on mute. For all I know, I got 1.5k likes and everybody agreed, bro. Fucking hell.
Bro, I think because you know how I found it? It was completely organically. My mind was blown. I was like, I saw the fucking numbers, and I was like, man, this guy's getting BR.
This guy, wait, I know this guy. Yeah, nah, bro, that's funny. Fucking hell.
Like, fuck, dude. Like,
bro,
that shit was so fun. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. That shit made me chuckle.
Do not show me that shit, gang. I'm keeping that shit out of my head for my mental health. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Google me. Think of it too. Watch you gonna turn to dust after that one Yoru bullet. Yeah, if it hit.
Okay, bro. Okay.
Get over it, guys. Get over it. And it really wasn't even for like the strength of the bullet. I don't really give a fuck. It's more of like, yeah, bro, one major attack and he needs another devil to go feed him some blood, bro. He getting hit with World Dismantle, chop chop. But
bro,
you know,
the Deku blonde thing is so funny. I like it. Pass my compliments on to the chef.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You didn't go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Yeah. I also like the other one he did.
Oh yeah.
Man, Igor. Dave, he's been on a roll. What the fuck?
Yeah, he be doing his thing or whatever.
Bro, I'm trying to find this tweet. Did you delete it?
No, bro. Hold on.
Oh, I found it. Okay. Let's see. Where's the guy? Oh, there he is. Bro, this is the dumbest ratio I've ever seen in my life.
What'd he say?
Bro got just a nerdy retort. Bro got hit by a devil artillery shot that could travel halfway around the world. Furnace got only 140 meter radius. This shit ain't building up nearly the same amount of energy. That's it?
W retort. Retort.
What a disappointing ratio, bro.
Hey, bro. I'll make sure the next person that ratios me comes a little harder, bro. Just for you.
I mean, no, it's not that. Like, obviously, you know, happy for you or whatever. It's just like, okay, this guy, he didn't ratio you at all, but he's got the spirit. Like this is the kind of energy. This is kind of what I expected, just as a response. I can't read that out.
This is what I wanted to hear.
Comparing Fire Arrow to an intercontinental satanic missile is insane work. Oh fuck, bro. Jesus Christ, this guy pulled out the calculator. A bullet moving 6,772 miles a second from a fraction of the same beast who almost totaled the country within seconds is not the same as some dingy $40 Fire Arrow Pachita greater than Sukuna don't play. Bro. Oh my god.
Brother.
Smelly sorcery fight fans infecting my manga with power scaling. It's a fucking scene from 7. Jesus. Oh fuck, bro. I don't know why you don't read these. They're so funny.
Okay, because they're so prevalent. I'm not trying to spend the rest of my day like getting notified for random fuck 445 chiming in on my funny look at Denji or look at Pochito getting cooked tweet. Whatever. Here's the thing, right? I'll leave people disagreeing for like the video. I'll read the comments then when that shit pays me. But
that's fair. It might be time for you to get Twitter blue.
Being annoyed for free? Oh hell nah. That's not me, bro.
Nah, you'll be fine. You'll get that Twitter blue. You'll pay Elon that $8, and you'll really lock in.
Get that Twitter blue. I think I'd rather bite the curb. Fucking
Oh my god, man. Wow. JJK is over.
JJK is over.
That's all she wrote.
Yeah. It really, really is.
I'm just feeling a lot of things right now.
Truly has been our sorcery fight.
Type shit,
our
bro.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, man. Fuck. We'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. Leviathan with the last second thing. Thank you for the 2. Advice for making editing less bearable. Try new shit consistently. Try to do new fun stuff. If you don't, it's gonna suck.
Yeah. Take as many shortcuts as humanly possible. Hotkeys are your friend. Templates are your friend.
That too.
Pre-prep. Basically, the most annoying part of editing is just going to be asset gathering. At least it was for me.
Definitely not super fun. Damn, but everybody pouring in. We said we're gonna leave, and they said no. Dotan, thank you for the 10. Been a fan since 2019. Love the series even with the flaws. So appreciate Gege for the hard work. 8 out of 10. It was fun. That shit.
Yeah.
And Mazane, thank you for remember for 14 months. So JJK season 2 group rewatch when? Shit, bro. Group rewatch. Fuck y'all. I'm about to rewatch that shit right now. But nah.
Bro, so when are you guys gonna legally live stream it for me?
Yeah, bro. That shit is not getting on YouTube.
Oh my god.
You do not want the channel to be here for very long.
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll run it up on Twitch or something. The copyright doesn't exist there. Kick if we want to get crazy with it.
Oh god, bro. Kick, you'd fit right in, bro.
I don't know, BR, something about like the fucking symbiote takes over. Like, I don't know, something about this website. It's just, I feel so free, bro.
That tier list I mentioned earlier, I'm making it now.
With or without you, gang.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Fuck. Oh shit, dude.
Fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit. But yeah, we'll see you guys, new members, old members, honored ones, After Dark people. Thank you guys for following the journey. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys on Thursday if you guys want to see us play some video games. We got a lot of fun plans coming up for After Dark streams. So be there to watch us vote, to watch us play and vote on what games we'll be playing next. October is going to be a bit of a spooky month themed, video game theme wise. I know BR's already, he's already made some lofty promises for what games he's streaming. I might have to do the same, but expect expect honored ones to evolve is all I'll say.
Yeah.
Knock wood.
The news too. Thank you for remember for 8 months. Build a Sorcerer stream when, by the way. Love you too and excited to see the Naruto ship it in reaction. Build a Sorcerer stream? Oh, I don't know. But as for glad you fuck with us. And when we get into talking about Naruto, be ready. It's gonna be fun. And the Savage, thank you for the 10. Shout out to BR for getting his JJK ending, Mega Me free, Miwa being useful, Akari slander, and Mahito finale cameo. What did you pay Gege? Hey, that's between me and Gege, man. That's between me and that one-eyed cat.
Let's see. Zenitsu, thank you for being a member for 8 months. Build a source. Oh, you already did. And then the Savage, thank you for the 10. Yeah, shout out to BR for getting his. Okay, awesome. Yeah, these are out of order for me. Hold on. Okay, cool. We're caught up. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff.
And we will see y'all in the next one.
Peace.